everyday neighborhood miniatures builder guy, and I am talking about building miniatures. Right now, I'm building my second set of the Civitas Imperialis. So Civitas, so civilian buildings. And I'm trying to build them so that they'll be like not only super cool but useful in game. Since if they're not useful in game, then what does it matter? Like this thing here with the big door in the front. I thought, what'd be cool? Put these big domes on either side of it. And you can still get infantry in here, so that's kind of cool. But as usual, as I've said, yes, I absolutely just love building terrain. I always have. It's my favorite thing to build. Okay, there is my brother that I love that I might invite onto my channel, but only if he tries to keep it within, you know, the topic. I mean, at least somewhat. So I'll give him another chance because he is my brother. Also, at some point, I need to prime and paint these guys up. These are motorcycles for Gaslands. I absolutely love Gaslands. I've got a ton of stuff for it. Eating. You're always eating. As a matter of fact, just the other day, I ordered a couple of cop cars because I tend to make, uh, I can't follow a topic. You'll learn. Um, I tend to, my team in Gaslands tends to be cop cars. So, if anybody's got a problem with that, well, they can file that under I don't care. I don't care about your problems. And it's sad that we live in a world where, I gotta say that, but first thing you've eaten today, I got served breakfast in bed by my wife. So I would say you are quite possibly just doing something really wrong. Well, wait a minute. This is my brother I'm talking about. I know you're doing something wrong. Oh, the other night, like 2 nights ago, I was on Bear's stream and I was telling him about how you got hit on by. Look at me now. I'm going off topic. You got hit on by gay black midget, which was pretty hilarious. How you doing, Shadow? What is up, my favorite vampire from the desert? Then again, as a vampire, hiding out in the desert makes a little bit of sense since you probably don't gotta have to worry about a lot of running water and stuff like that. Oh yeah, man, the F factor, right? That's what I had that a while back because my wife bought me a pound or so of really good made in Germany bologna. So yeah, I had to do that too, Hungar. I am putting together buildings for Imperialis Titanicus and all of the other games that go with it. Literally, it could be just about anything if we're honest. You know what I mean? These, I mean, yeah, no water worries, just lots of fun in the sun. Yeah, but even in the desert, I mean, you have the part of the year where it's not that sunny, and then you're free to just roam around doing whatever. Kind of like the vampire in the Clive Barker's Vampires. I think it's Clive Barker's. Who's ever it was. Had James Woods in it. Telling that priest vampires are not sexy. They're not a bunch of faggy goths hanging out. They will bend you over and take a stroll straight up your chocolate. You know, whatever he says is like, damn. Okay. All right. £4. Jeez. That should be bologna for like a month. I mean, then again, I don't know what kind of sandwiches you'd be eating. You know what I mean? You might be one of those people that likes a pound of bologna on their sandwich. For me, you know, I don't go that crazy. Now, does that get you hard, Padre? A little mahogany, a little oak, you know. That was still is one of the best vampire movies ever made, especially in modern times. You know what I mean? I mean, it's such an interesting movie because the vampires are not the vampires. The vampires are give or take. Who cares about the vampires in that movie, really? What's awesome about that movie is the hunters. I mean, first off, getting over the fact that they're all a bunch of degenerates, which is fine, whatever. The actual vampire hunters are smart when it comes to hunting the vampires. They're not just running in there being idiots, you know what I mean? They're all like, here's how we're going to do it, you know, we're going to go in, we've got big, long, you know, boar spears, and, you know, we got a crossbow hooked up to a winch. So we're going to grab a hold of these zampies and pull their asses right out into the sunlight and let them cook, you know? Whereas in older vampire movies, it's like, okay, guys, here's the plan. Let's wait until about midnight, and then let's go to his tomb, and let's not bring anything that we might find useful at all, you know. And then we'll end up just fighting vampires, and it's gonna suck balls, right? Lost Boys is a good vampire movie. It's a good coming of age vampire movie. But again, the thing with the Lost Boys versus vampires is like there's no vampire hunters in it really, except for the Frog Brothers, and they're idiots. But in vampires, you know, you've got the whole organization from the Vatican, and they're, you know, doing their thing, right? And that's kind of cool, you know. That's kind of a cool idea. So hard to disagree. Vampires, when it comes to like the hunters, is a much better film. Much better film. I mean, I could have gone without that constant trope that, you know, at any given moment, the church is going to betray all of humanity because reasons. Because let's be honest, that shit's getting tiring, you know. I mean, it's like, for some reason in the last, I don't know, umpteen years, it's like, if I'm watching a movie and there's a Catholic priest in it, I know he's going to be the bad guy. Like right off the bat, you know he's the bad guy. Yeah, Vampire's a great flick. So right now I'm cutting out pieces. They give you instructions with this kit, obviously, which I threw on the floor and decided I would just ignore. I got some work I gotta do today too. I finally got a bunch of boxes packed up that need to go into storage. And I still, even though I told you I was going to do it, I need to actually do it, and that is get pictures taken of the demons and stuff so that I can get those sold. The Chaos Demons for 40K. I don't foresee a time where I will need a demon army, you know. And in Warhammer, Horus Heresy, they don't even use a lot of the demons that you find in 40K. So, or if they use them, they're not described the same way, you know. It's like if a legion, generally it's going to be Lorgar's Legion, word bearers, if they summon a demon, you know, they don't call it a bloodletter. You know, it's freaking divided between small, medium, large, or whatever. I don't know why they did that. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you know, if I want to play a traitor legion like the bloodletters and I want to summon, you know, a force of demons onto the table, then just tell me what demons I can summon, because I mean that's only going to make Games Workshop sell more miniatures to some people. Not me, but you know, some people. You spelled C wrong. But so, as I used to do with my Space Marines, all sprues empty. Now, I will tell you this. This is some advice. Take it to the bank. You know, it's good stuff. Don't stink. Dry fit everything, or you will end up with problems. When it comes to miniature building, with everything else in life, lubrication makes things a lot more comfortable for everybody involved. That's right. I said that. Now, these things, they got tabs, and the way they're built, they go together really easy. I have to admit, I'm super impressed. I mean, are they as cool as just the cardboard ones that had the plastic toppers? I mean, I don't know, honestly, because there was just something really cool about the plastic ones that had the little fold the cardboard and then put the top on and it held it together. I mean, man, what a great idea. And a box set of like Space Marine or Titan Legion came with, you know, that terrain, and other than if you wanted to play with some hills or something, you were totally good, you know. You were good to go, no problems at all. You know, made in the shade with lemonade, right? But then these ones, while I would say are probably of a higher production quality, it doesn't mean they're necessarily better. You know what I mean? Because, of course, they cost much more money. Bear. There's a bear. There's a bear. So, up there.
Yeah, I was live, but I ended it early so I could come hang out with you.
I don't know why you do that.
Because I
I knew
like
you
you.
were live. I was
'Cause
watching.
I like you. I like you as a person, so hanging out with you is fun.
Oh, cool. I was watching. Saxius was there. I love Saxius. I've known him for, I mean, by known, we've interacted on like X for like 10 years. You know?
Really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like his X profile is like a fighter with like his eyes got like a scar over it. And he used to put in his profile lawful evil human fighter.
Nice.
Yeah, but I never knew he was from another country or anything. But on X, we would always be bullshitting around. I'm just building terrain for my Space Marine army and talking shit.
Nice. Well, I got to do something, so talk shit, and I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Well, didn't expect Bear. I watched part of his thing, so I can honestly say I didn't expect him to end his show. And I kind of wish he hadn't done it on my account, because Bear and I, when it comes to role playing games, we don't have a lot of crossover, I don't think. It's like the people we talk to are not, the same people. Probably because Bear's easier at keeping things on topic. And over here, we just go nuts. I blame my brother mostly for that. But I blame my brother mostly for everything. Even though he is the first thing I think about every morning when I wake up. Which is not always good. I don't know if I ever told you the time I had a dream that my brother and I were hanging out at my house, and I wanted him to help me clean the house because my wife was coming home, and I didn't want to have to deal with her angry Scandinavian self. And my brother refused. In my dream, he refused to help me. And I went out in the backyard and I picked a freaking bamboo pole. And I came in the house and just started beating the shit out of him. And he still would not help, no matter how much I beat him. And then I got in trouble from my parents for beating him. And I'm like, look, he made this big mess in the living room.
We have some crossover in our audience.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But so, yeah. In the dream, my mom was like, you're not allowed to beat your brother. And I'm like, he made this huge mess in my house and my wife's on the way home. And he won't help me clean up his mess. So I got a bamboo pole and I whipped the shit out of him. But then I woke up angry because at no point did he ever get his ass up off the couch and help me clean. And I'm like, if my wife comes home and the house looks like this, to quote what's his name in Pulp Fiction, we're not going to marriage counseling. We're not talking about it. We're going straight to divorce. Tarantino, when he's talking about the bunny situation. If my wife comes in after a hard day at the hospital and finds me hanging out in the kitchen with a couple of gangsters and a corpse in the garage, he's like, we're not going to therapy. We're going straight to divorce. And that's kind of how I was feeling. And
in the dream,
I don't know. The dream probably meant something entirely different. And I was just like obsessing over something. I don't know.
Well, don't worry about me ending the show because it would be on for an hour and a half and we were pretty much done.
Well, I watched it for like 30 minutes. And then it ended. And I thought it ended because it stopped. And then it went to the picture of you drinking coffee. Well, the bear drinking coffee.
Weird. It shouldn't have happened. Don't know what happened there. Maybe you had a glitch or something. Who knows?
God only knows, because, my computer, it lives to torment me.
That is fair.
So I was watching it, and Saxius was talking about, different games and how to get immersed in them or something like that. And you had this other guy on, and then you were
Jason.
talking about a mom and the other guy playing a game where they fight supernatural things. And then your screen left like
Yeah, I had to go let the landlady and look at something.
right.
So
And
so
then
I
after
did
he finished his
this.
sentence, yeah, it went like that. And then he finished his sentence, and then it went to Coffee with Bear. So
Weird.
I was like, weird, but okay, I guess they're done.
No, that is strange. Oh well. Anyway, we're here now.
Well, yeah, I mean, and if Sax or one of them wanted to join you here, I mean, I know I don't talk about the same kind of stuff they're interested in because I'm one, we talk about everything, and two, I don't know how Saxius is about how much he even cares about the miniature stuff. He strikes me as more of a guy that's cares more about immersion than tactical combat.
I don't know.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if he wants to play a game full of immersion and character
Where are
choices.
all the usual suspects today? Like I don't see anybody in your chat other than Hunger.
Oh, there's 6 people in the chat. They're just not
Cool.
talking.
Yeah.
Hungar was in there, but someone else was in there, and I kind of had went off topic to say that one of the reasons I really like John Carpenter's Vampires is it's one of the few vampire movies that shows vampire hunters not being complete retards.
Very fair.
Like, they've got a plan. And it's not a bad plan. If they hadn't ran into the one guy, it'd have been a great plan. They'd have got drunk and banged hookers. It'd been awesome. But unfortunately, the master was there. There's Leth. Yo, Leth. What up, Jimmy? Jimmy.
Damn
Live a lie. Live a lie, Timmy. I can't help it. Every time I hear the word Timmy, I think of that freaking song from
Here, I'm sharing a picture for just you and you and Hunger. I'll appreciate it. Hey, Sax.
There's Sax. See, I was just saying. See, you see his icon, the fighter with the. Yeah, I used to talk the Dollar General. That is so good. And you know what's crazy is, I don't know how it is in Canada, but in the south of the United States, you're in the south of the United States when Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and all that shit, you'll have one on every block. And sometimes there'll be a Dollar General on this side of the street and a Dollar Tree on this side of the street.
We have
and
Dollar
now
Tree.
We've got this new thing they've introduced called Five Below, which is Dollar Tree, but for people with $5. So everything in the store is Five Below. Yeah. So he says, I'm okay with tactical games and miniatures, but I play for fun rather than win. Yeah. I mean, I was just kind of trying to guess based on which you may not remember, but I remember our long, hey, what's up, Timmy? Our long Twitter conversations. Of course, I kept getting banned. So like right now, my X handle is Cage Superfan because I am a huge fan of Nicolas Cage. And that's my 5th account, I think. The other 4 have been permanently banned. And Elon Musk did not unban them. So, I mean,
Talking about the Dollar General, though.
I love that thing.
Oh, I get it.
That is a great picture. What was that? Like that's like a little gremlin, right?
It was a fucking gremlin. It was a Pinto, I think.
Yeah, it was a Pinto.
It was a gremlin or a Pinto, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want one of those. Don't they blow up if you get hit?
Yeah.
That's what that thing sounds
like. Did you know that? Do you know what year the General Lee is as a Dodge Charger?
70 something.
No, it was a 69.
Yeah, so it's late 60s. Yeah.
Yep. Well, sort of. It was a
90.
69 and a 60. I think they got some 68 models and built them to look like the General Lee because of how many they went through. They went through between 350 if you just want to go for like actual full vehicles to like 500 if it was like parts, I think, or 450, I think it was.
At the time, if you owned one, even if as long as it could start, they would give you thousands of dollars for it because they needed them. They went crazy looking for them all over America.
Yeah.
Well, unlike people sometimes think, and I've said this before, the Hazard County the Duke boys lived in was in Georgia. Now, granted, there is a Hazard County, Kentucky, that's like 2 counties over from where I am, but that's not where they filmed it because if they tried to film Dukes of Hazzard in Kentucky, the Duke boys would have died. The first time they tried to jump and messed up and went down a holler, that'd have been, well, there go those good old Duke boys. They'd just been dead because, you know, you just don't live through that. You know, 100-foot drop down a cliff. Yeah, you're not. So, yeah. And Hazard is a pretty rough spot anyway. The Duke boys would have had to
learn how to
like,
fly.
well, no, what I mean is the Duke boys would have had to been avoiding like meth heads. You know, when they're weaving around their car, they'd been like, don't leave the car alone in case somebody runs up and tries to cut the catalytic converter off of it or something, you know. So that's Hazard County. You know, I mean, not out in the woods, but any of the little towns in Hazard, which are just clusters of trailers anyway. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about dudes that are so skilled at metallurgy, they can get every bit of copper wiring out of an old trailer in like an hour. It's impressive, really.
That's not metallurgy skills. That's just stripping skills. Speaking of stripping skills, that's what their women are really good at too. So that works out well.
In Kentucky, I don't know about that.
Oh my God, it's a joke. Don't try and bring reality into your hillbilly bullshit.
Well, one of the biggest problems with Kentucky is it's like the second fattest state in the United States.
You don't think there's fat strippers, dude? There are literally a metric shit ton of fat strippers in the world.
You have to understand, Bear, that's your world.
No,
I never lived in that world.
I've worked in strip clubs. There are tons of fat, literally tons of fat strippers.
That's what I'm saying. That was your world.
So
you gotta expect some chubby chasers.
Well, no, in Quebec we have this expression, like you'll go to a strip club and there'll be these old women, like they're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they're still stripping. And the term for them is grand-mères, grandmothers. You know, it's like, so like my buddy would be like, I went to this new strip club in the north of Laval. Oh yeah, how was it? C'est toute grand-mère. It was all grandmothers. Like, don't go there. It's gross. You know, that type of thing. Because I'm telling you right now, there is nothing sadder than like a 60-year-old stripper.
Except for that song, the strip, or the dance is always there when the stripper's crying.
What?
You never heard of that?
No.
That's like a song.
That's rough.
That's wrong on every level.
Yeah, but you could say it's wrong on every level, and I might not even disagree, but there's a song out there, and it's all about, the dance is always better, or the lap dance is always better when the stripper's crying.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's like they said in the one movie about prostitutes. It's not like you're killing somebody. They're already dead on the inside. Now, I'm not suggesting anybody do anything, but that is a thing that I've heard before.
$20 is $20?
No. Anyway, how are you doing today, Shadow? How's your giant demonic entity gut coming?
Take a look for yourself.
Looks better every time. I'm jealous.
I'm learning some new stuff. hanging out with you guys. Jesus Christ. I had a little run in with a squirrel a little bit ago. I've taken out some trash, and he's up in my rafters in my garage, and had to give him the scare of his life. Chewie almost got him.
That is so funny because you said I had a run in with the squirrel, and I immediately thought squirrel hermit.
No. I would never harm a squirrel.
And I was like, oh yeah, what's squirrel hermit up to? You know, I was just
No
gonna be
good.
like, how's he
No
doing,
good.
man?
No good, other than bequeathing me with a metric shit ton of great new reading material.
Well, squirrel hermit is a generous man.
He's a great guy.
He is crazy generous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to find a way to
He
get
has a
back.
really neat video that's very old at this point, but I still watch it sometimes because I love it, about an alternative initiative system where you basically put a bead for each player and like a bead for each monster, and then like a black bead in a bag. And then when it comes time for initiative, you just pull out the thing, and whoever's thing it is gets to go. But if the black bead shows up, that's the end of the round.
Huh.
So it like completely kind of, I guess the word would be randomizes how
Right,
initiative
but
works.
it kind of screws the characters who are known for being quick.
Not really. They got 2 beads in there, and I think in the video it even says if you got a high level dex, you get like an extra bead or something.
Okay, that would.
You'd have to watch his video. He's the one that did the video. It's a good video. He had like a little UDT, and he had all of his monsters, and he explained how it all worked. And I was like, that's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. I dig it. Just a different. Hey, Janet, what is up?
Hey, long time no see, Janet.
Hey, Janet.
For you, Janet visits my channel all the time now.
Yep,
She
same
doesn't
here.
stay, she doesn't hang out, but she does pop in and say hey.
Yeah, she's a good gal.
I manage to often get her to show up on my channel. It's fun.
Yeah, Janet is definitely fun.
One of us.
One of us.
Speaking of one of us,
One of us.
has anybody here heard from Fritz?
Fritz, he was doing a painting stream like 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay. Yeah, I must have been unsubscribed or something. I haven't seen him in
Well,
maybe a year.
you of all people should know you always got to check your subscriptions.
I've got like 5,000 of them, so that's really not going to happen.
Because every now and then, for reasons that I don't think anyone can really understand, YouTube will decide to just get rid of some subscriptions. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, speaking of, there's
No
this
way.
girl,
No way.
man.
What's happening, bro?
I was just telling them about that video you made that I really love about the alternate initiative with the bag with the tokens and all that. Now the last game I played, I allowed individual initiative, but die 6. And one reason I like die 6 for individual initiative, and some people will hate this, but it's because it makes characters that have like that +1 to initiative from dexterity. That +1's a big deal on die 6.
I could say that, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, yeah, that's a thing right there, right? But on like a die 20, it's 5%.
We lost Bear.
He's back. Yeah, on a die 20, +1 to initiative is 5%. But on a die 6, it's something
15.
more like
Like 15.
yeah. Okay, thank you. Because my brain just completely
Not
shut.
raining today. Hey, Squirrel. Maybe you missed it, but I was asking, has anybody seen Fritz lately? Because I certainly haven't.
Yeah, that's Squirrel. But like I said a couple of days ago, he had his paint stream going. He was painting Napoleonics or something like that. little tiny Napoleonics, which seems to be what he does.
Hmm.
I don't even know how that dude. I mean, I paint a lot of tiny stuff. I mean, I'm sitting here building epic buildings and crap like that, but that dude is painting like the freaking Grand Army of 1815 and shit like this. Talked to him last evening. All's well with him. Yeah.
Okay. Tell him I said hey, and that I need to stop by and just, you know.
What happened to the Tuesday night with Biggest Geekus? I am out to go to the gym. You do that. You do that. We like our ladies fit around here. Biggest Geekus just said they're taking a break for a while.
Yeah, I see Randy on Facebook all the time, but I haven't talked to Joe since the episode before they decided to call it quits. Randy and I were working on a show to do together about talking about the care and upkeep of castles and things like that, and which I've been wanting to do forever, and that was it.
Hey, if you are the proud possessor of any of the good versions of any fantasy role-playing game, you already know about the care and upkeep of castles because it's in the game.
Right.
You know, that was one thing Wizards of the Coast, when they did their, hey, let's talk to the crowd and see what they like. And then they come out with third edition. It had nothing to do with domain play or like anything. It was just like, you're going to be adventurers until level 20, you know? Yes, not just from Shadow Scroll Hermit, but from me too. I respect that dude. His painting is inspirational. So it's kind of wild, you know what I mean? It's kind of wild, but
Well, he's one of the only one of us who's literally a professional painter.
yeah,
Maybe
he gets
Bill
paid.
Paints Minis is another, but there aren't a lot that literally get paid for doing what they do and love to do when it comes to miniatures.
You know, I actually got hired to paint miniatures one time. This would be about 20 odd years ago, maybe 30. And me and all of my friends, who at the time were super freaks for L5R, right? We decided to buy, each of us, a box set of Clan War, which is the L5R war game that come with like a shit ton of, you know, miniatures, you know, samurais and archers and Ashigoro.
Sure.
You get it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And this guy I knew offered me money to paint the game, right? And I agreed. And it was the worst $150 I ever made in my life. I would rather be in hot Florida sun toting freaking block, because being forced to paint for someone else and being on a timeline, and I mean, it was just, I hated every minute of it.
Doesn't sound fun.
No, it wasn't. And then he was super happy, like when he came over and he saw all of his Crane Clan samurai all painted up in, you know, pale blue and white and whatever. He was super happy. But at the same time, it was just like, God, I freaking hated it, you know, because I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, by that time in my life, I'd toted a lot of block and even been up doing some roofing. And I would have preferred either of them to paint miniatures, man.
Roofing was one of the worst jobs I ever had. I was roofing a Motel 6. The carports, I know it wasn't the carports, it was just the buildings. They were flat roof with gravel.
Roll roofing.
Right. And I had to, by myself, I had to pull up these five-gallon buckets of hot freaking tar in the August sun in Santa Ana, California, all by my lonesome. And, you know,
it gets every you drip it on yourself a little bit.
Well, you know, with the gravel roof, every pull was, you know, a dexterity check to make sure I didn't freaking ass over tea kettle off the roof.
I'll tell you what, it gives you some introspection though about
What the hell am I doing with my life?
no. The next time you played D&D and there was a castle siege and someone dumped boiling tar on somebody,
Oh yeah.
you get some real insight into that when like just the tiniest little drop of tar hitting you is like the worst, you know. The only thing worse than that, I've been a chef before, kind of, and that's getting like melted sugar on you. Oh my god.
Oh really? I've never. Yeah, I've plenty of hot oil
Melted
from
sugar. It
cooking.
sticks.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
It sticks, and it will burn you right to the bone. I mean, it is the worst. Say you're trying to make caramel or something, and you freaking F up and manage to somehow get that sugar on you, you will regret it. And tar is a second to the melted sugar. So think about now with your experience of having gotten specked with boiling tar, how horrible it must be to be some idiot standing under a gate and catch a face full of it. I mean,
Yeah, it makes me want to have gnomes or hobbits. You know, I just start whipping up some vats of molten sugar instead.
or you could. I mean, if they've got the sugar, start dumping molten sugar on people.
You remember that great old Games Workshop set, the Halfling.
The Halfling Chef.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And he had like a stew pot with a big rubber band.
Yes, exactly.
At the end.
Exactly.
I dropped something. Oh, here's one of my cop cars. I haven't opened it yet, but I'll be gluing, some machine guns on it, and a bunch of
Gasland style
body armor. Well, I love Gaslands, and I was just showing this off to Hungar. I've got sports bikes for Gaslands.
Nice.
And I've also got these more like dirt bikes. And then the same kit that those came in, it also came with a shit ton of like dune buggies, like what you see in
Mad Max.
Mad Max, yeah, the all built with pipes and stuff. What's up, Satya? All right, Janet. And have fun at the gym.
Be careful.
And so when I play Gaslands, my 3 cars that I generally pick, I pick cop cars a lot of the time.
That's fun.
Because I don't know why. I like to pretend like I'm the cops.
Smokey and the Bandit style?
Well, no, more like Mad Max 1.
Okay.
And I've been wondering about it because it is a little expensive, but for like $7 or $8, you can actually get a Hot Wheels car that is the yellow cop cars that Mad Max was originally driving before his got wrecked and he went to the V8 Interceptor. You know the ones I'm talking about? I don't even know what model car that is. I know the V8 Interceptor.
The blue and yellow ones?
Yeah, the blue and yellow ones.
Oh, that's hang on.
Now, the V8 Interceptor was like a Ford Falcon or something like that.
So these are also Interceptors. They're also V8s. They're Ford Falcon X8 sedans, Pursuit Special. Modified Ford Falcon muscle car, also referred to the last of the V8 Interceptors. So the one he has in the end and in Road Warrior is one of those, but
Right.
stripped down and made to look civilian, but it's the same car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. So I do have because you know how there's companies that make this scale, Hot Wheels scale cars, but they make like badass ones. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I do have that. The actual black V8 Interceptor
Oh,
with
nice.
the with the trunk open and there's like a tank in it and some tires and shit. I mean, it's pretty much like display quality, and I haven't glued anything to it because I feel like it doesn't need anything glued to it. But these cop cars, I'll throw some armor bits and some freaking machine guns and stuff on them, and that'll be cool.
Yeah, have you ever checked out my buddy Mad Eye Miniatures channel?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I have.
Yeah. He's going through some really rough times, so
Why?
nothing I can really talk about.
Being Polish, that would have to be rough.
No. Nothing for him. It's somebody he cares about is not doing well,
No.
and
First
You got
step in
to-
life is to not care about anyone.
well, that
Yeah, it hasn't worked out well for me.
Yeah.
Why laugh as Gordon Ramsay has a halfling in the profile pic.
I was because of the chef thing that you were talking about.
Nice.
Yeah.
You just did that now for us. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Gordon Ramsay, the halfling. That's funny.
Finally,
But,
some good food.
melted sugar is basically illegal napalm. Yeah, it's so funny. People who don't cook have no idea. But you melt sugar, get it on you, boy. You can run and put your hand under the water. It will still burn for a while. You know what I mean? It just chemicals and compositions and molecules and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, stuff your primitive mind wouldn't
Did you eat
understand.
any more fake?
Well, that's from
Army of Darkness.
Army of the Dead. Yeah,
Army of Darkness.
3 actually. Army of Darkness. That's the
Okay.
third one because there's the Evil Dead 2, and then Evil Dead: The Army of Darkness. And then there's a TV series which I've watched a couple episodes of, and I had to say I liked what I saw.
Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, apparently some idiot reads his book and brings him back. It's kind of funny too when he's like kind of having sex with the one chick in the bathroom and she turns into a deadite for a second. I'll swallow your soul. And he stops and she's like, but I was so close. And he's like, okay, I'll see what I can do real quick. But he's terrified because she just looked at him and was a demon, It's like, but he's a true gentleman. He decided to finish her off, but still.
It's in more ways than one.
And no, in just one way.
Oh,
And Ash is basically living in like a travel trailer. his landlady's always bitching at him for not paying the rent. And he's always like, yeah, I'll get it to you. Like, whatever, man. And he's got like a couple of apprentices, I guess, that are hanging out. It's good. It's good. It might even be Briscoe County Junior good or whatever.
All right, let's not lose our minds.
So where do you
Come on,
fall
man.
on that? Not good? That show?
Where?
Not good?
No, it was very good, but it's not Briscoe County Junior good.
Okay. I said almost.
It's good, but yeah,
Yeah.
Briscoe County Junior was something special.
Yeah.
never actually saw it.
Sacrilege.
Well, you should have, because it was good.
I'll
I
try to
haven't
put
even-
that on the list of a million things I've yet to do.
I mean, it was your boy as a sheriff in the Wild West.
And his partner, for the most part, as a bounty hunter, was Shonuff, the Shogun of Harlem.
Yeah.
Not really, it was that actor, I mean. Who it turns out has passed on.
That is sad,
That is sad.
but not unexpected.
He wasn't
Not
young.
surprising. See, surprising to me was when the guy who played the Black Panther died,
Yeah, it was
because
surprising
he
to
was
everybody.
like 30. You know, it's like,
Yeah, that was literally surprising to everyone.
yeah, it's like, wait, what? T'Challa died? I mean, that the guy who played, literally, and I didn't even really like the Black Panther. I just liked the actor. You know what I mean? The story I thought's dumb as shit. But the actor was a true gentleman, a true good guy. You know, like I would invite him in and give him beer and serve him food and treat him good because he was a good guy and he deserved it. And I can say that as someone who thought that both of the Black Panther movies were trash. But
I never saw him.
yeah, they were. I mean, don't let me affect your opinion because
I never heard
Whatever.
anything good about them. What's up, Dean?
it's just, yeah, I see, Dean. It's just a matter of,
Can I say it? Can I just say what it is?
the
Please.
vibranium pissed me off. The fact
Can
that
I-
the biggest genius in the whole country is a 12-year-old girl. I'm sick of that fucking trope.
Can I just say it, James?
They let all their neighbors starve to death while they're like some kind of world superpower.
Is my microphone on?
Yeah, say it. Say it.
Oh,
Go
I
nuts.
was asking for permission because it's your channel. If that fucking movie hadn't been about Black Power, no one would have given a shit about it as a movie. And that's what everybody needs to understand is Black Panther is not a good movie. But because it was seen as this massive moment for Black Americans, it got way more hype than it deserved. It's a
Which is
shame because
what
he's
we
a...
make fun of when
I
people
gotta go.
talk
I'll see
about
ya.
it.
Oh,
See-
there it is. He's out. Oh, I can't handle this.
Take care, lad.
But that was
Which
my
is
problem.
why
with
I
it.
always talk shit like when everybody was going off about, you know, a superhero movie with a black actor in it. It's like Blade, asshole. It came out in the 90s,
Exactly.
you know?
Blade-
Can we have
was-
can we have a non-woke version of Luke Cage?
No.
I didn't think that the version of Luke Cage we got, at least the first season or two, was woke.
Oh, I didn't know it was such a thing. There was a thing, so my bad. But
It is your bad because at least the first couple seasons were really good.
okay. I used to read that one as a kid. You know, seemed like a cool character.
And then there's a crossover with Luke Cage and
Iron
oh,
Fist.
what's her name?
Jessica
Janet Jones or something like that.
Jessica Jones.
Jones.
Jessica.
Hey, sexist.
They have a
Hello.
crossover, and
Yes,
Luke Cage, the way they depict him, is basically he's
I agree, Dean. It's my
really
favorite
strong
movie,
and
franchise.
he's really tough. Highlander 2 was a fine movie. Dean, you're banned.
seriously.
I'll see myself out.
Yeah,
love that
anybody
movie.
who thinks Highlander 2 was a good movie, you're banned.
What a fucking troll.
Also, shouldn't be playing.
I
D&D.
really liked it. Those flying disc things were cool. The whole concept, you know.
Are you high?
Troll.
No.
Are you
I don't
high?
think
I haven't even watched the second one. I only thought there was one.
There is only
That's the
one.
correct answer.
Okay.
There is only
There
one.
can be only one. Let's be honest.
I'll stick with that then.
I was, and I did not like the TV show. Adrian Paul drove me freaking nuts.
I hated that fucking show. I
It
didn't
had
get
good
either so
episodes.
into it.
He also
episodes.
ruined. Was it War of the Worlds? Was that the show he was in before that? I think
Don't
like his big break, maybe.
know. Don't know.
Don't know.
It was like an '80s TV show about the Martians coming to Earth, but this time able to disguise themselves as humans because it was, obviously cheaper that way.
Are you sure you're not thinking about V?
No, it's a Canadian show. War of the Worlds was done in the late '80s.
Okay, so blame
I
Canada.
didn't know Adrian Paul was on that though.
I could have swore he was on that.
I'll believe you.
I mean,
saying I
to
didn't know.
quote Eric Cartman's mom, blame Canada, blame Canada. For
That
all
wasn't
that
that wasn't Eric's.
Hullabaloo and
That wasn't Eric's mom. That was Kyle's mom.
Oh yeah, because Kyle's mom's the bitch.
Kyle's mom's big fat bitch, big fat bitch, big fat bitch. Yeah.
Someone ever get that soundtrack? I gotta break that out.
Oh, bitch. Yeah. And they decide
Christopher Lambert can do no wrong, including but not to being an Highlander too. Anybody ever see that Beowulf movie he did? It's pretty
Which
good.
one? There are like 3 Beowulf movies. Which one?
Yeah.
The one with Christopher Lambert.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no. It was kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of take on it.
Good for him.
So you take like the oldest English story ever written and known to archaeology and you turn it into a post-apocalyptic bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Wait till you hear about the new Gilgamesh movie. I just made it.
I'm just looking at the pictures of it. I'm just like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, I mean, who did they get to be Gilgamesh?
I just made it up.
Oh,
You missed that part.
no, I mean, I wouldn't mind a Gilgamesh movie. That's an incredibly interesting story, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, I've already seen it. It's called Hercules.
You know, he swam down to the bottom of the ocean and he got the flower that would give him immortal life, but then a serpent ate it. And then he got in trouble because he wouldn't have sex with the goddess of the dead, which Lilitu or whatever she was called. I mean, Gilgamesh was kind of a badass. He's also a giant, too. I guess the argument could be made he was a Nephilim because he was, you know, a gigantic person.
He was Anunnaki.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I thought he was more half-breed.
No, he's half
And,
Anunnaki, yeah.
Well, that's what the Anunnaki did, right? Is they come down and like
They Anunnaki'd up strange women.
Stop, please, my sides. I can only take so much.
Hey.
they took primitive humans and uplifted them so that the humans could work as slaves.
What's up,
Or
Holy
they-
Diver?
That's the story because for some reason they need gold.
To clear their atmosphere out. They need gold to get their atmosphere clear on their home planet because it's the machines they use to purify their environment run on gold.
Run on gold. There you go.
And-
Yeah, I know it was something like
yeah.
that. So they came to Earth and they found some monkeys and they uplifted them.
Stupid monkeys.
Stupid.
They actually created 2 different races. The humans were like the 3rd or 4th attempt. The
That
first
makes
one were
sense.
the first one were their own people who rebelled against them, their own workers, because they were working them to the bone. The second one was an uplifted tree creature that they made out of the trees, and that was useless because it couldn't think for itself. And then they did 3 rounds of humans, and it's the 3rd round that is us, the Homo sapien sapien. But each one was supposed to be destroyed, but Enki kept saying, destroy them, destroy them, destroy them. And Enlil would go, yeah, I'm taking care of that. But he was like, no, I'm not destroying them. I fucking love them so much. And
Did you ever read Sitchin's
Noah.
series?
So yeah, I've read the 13th planet, but 12th planet, sorry. But Noah is based on Adamu. No, someone else. It's some Sumerian character that's part of this, where he basically was given all of the receptacles, the waters of life, which were the genetic material for life on Earth, and said, look, the flood's coming. Find your pure people, build a boat. Here's how you do it. And when it's over, you'll have your shit. So afterwards, after everything happens and they're on Mount Ararat, supposedly, the gods are hungry. Enki and all them are hungry, but they've wiped out all the life and there's no food. And they're like, what the fuck? Except Noah, which I can't remember his name in the fucking Sumerian one, has animals on board. So he does a sacrificial barbecue and they smell it. And they come down and they go, oh shit, you're alive. And they look at Enlil and he's like, tee. And they're like, okay, but you got food, so all right, we'll give you another gopher. And that's the story that essentially is the Anunnaki that becomes Noah's legend in the Bible.
All right.
Lot. When you read the Sumerian myth and then you read the Hebrew Bible, you'll go like, same thing for the Greek mythology. You just go, "Muh." There's so many of the stories that find their origin in Sumeria first and then are brought over later.
It's not as surprising as you might think when you consider that Abraham originated from north of
Babylonian.
what we call Turkey.
Yeah, he was Babylonian.
Exactly. And was a mercenary warrior before he, found religion, right? So he would have heard all of the stories that you're talking about, which in my opinion does not make them not true.
Didn't say it didn't make them true. I'm just saying
I know.
they trace their origins.
I'm just saying what I think.
You did?
Yeah.
It just means
so much so that the Greeks actually in their own mythology do not claim they invented their own mythology. The Greeks actually acknowledge that they just adapted mythology from further east.
And we all know how the Romans were.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, they went to the Greeks and was like, can I borrow a couple of deities? Because apparently they didn't have any.
No, they had.
Theirs
Theirs were very impersonal until they brought in the Greek ones, right? So the original Roman deities, you can still find them listed. They're very impersonal. They don't have a lot of personality or story. They're just concepts, right? Like, this is the god of this. This is
like
Agricola, god of the aqueduct, or Orcus. And then when they bring in the Greek stuff, they just start adapting all the Greek tragedy over as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Off Grid. Looking forward to it tonight.
What's happening tonight?
Pardon?
What's happening tonight?
Oh, my Savage Sword game, or one of the two.
Everybody's talking about it, man. I keep hearing about this this great idea that you've got that everyone's enjoying.
We'll see.
Nah, keep it going.
Just trying to, do a good company, a solid, and enjoying the shit out of it. And it's Sumerian in September, so lit a little fire under my ass, and I'm actually reading a Conan story right now. Well, not right this minute, but just earlier this morning, that I don't think I've ever read before. The Slithering Shadow.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't recognize it.
Saxius's nemesis.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
Danish and he's Norwegian, right? Or is it that you both hate Swedes? How's that work?
It's like a brotherly thing. Like, I'll gang up against Norwegians, they'll gang up against me. We all unify against Sweden, and then Finland walks into the room, and we're all like, "Wait, what are you doing here?"
And then for good
You're
merit,
not even
turn around and yell,
Scandinavian.
and then you turn around for fun, yell, "Fuck off, Estonia!"
God, yeah. They don't belong even in the same region, in the same history books. They can get out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only time they
the
should be
Finns-
mentioned is when the greatest flag was ever discovered and created.
The
That is
Finns
the
are
Danish flag?
either
That is
Turks
the Danish flag.
or Russians bred with Turks. That's kind of their thing.
Well, given that Russians are essentially Slavs bred with Vikings,
True.
Yeah, it's funny.
The House of Rourke, which was Swedish. And I remember when I read Olav.
So just to interject here, James. So there's a friend or a player of mine who teaches history for students, and he at one point, he was told like, okay, you could go and teach what you would like. So he went, okay, I would like to teach about Russian, history and so on. He went into proper depth about it, and he slowly went through like, where does it all come from? And he came to the whole realization of it came from the land of Rus, Rusland, and what it means and where the people originated from. He's like, Oscar, they're Swedes. They're all Swedes. No wonder we're not getting along with them. They're all just Swedish bastards. It's like, yes, that's right.
I actually had a
filthy
Polish
Swedes.
person tell me I'm not Slavic.
Sorry?
I had a Polish person tell me, because I was talking about Russian stuff, and they're like, you're not Slavic, you're a damn Viking. And I was like, wow, I have never had anyone say that to me before, but okay, whatever.
I mean, that,
Actually, closer to Khazar if I were going to count my pop's bloodline, but okay, whatever. Uh,
Yeah, I wouldn't yell too loud about being a
doesn't
chasm.
Roost mean wolf or something like that?
Sorry, what?
River.
Roost. I thought
River.
it meant like
No, it's
wolf
river.
or something.
Yeah.
River means river.
Yeah, river people.
Hence the Vikings were the river people. They came down the Danube and the rivers, and they came in.
Yeah.
And that's why the Kievan Rus are the river people of Kiev.
See,
Just,
what I remember mostly is reading about Vladimir the Great, Olga, his grandmother, the House of Rurik, and how they went to war, 3 brothers, and eventually Vladimir they killed each other. And then Vladimir became the main guy, and he married the sister of Emperor Basil II of Eastern Rome. And then the Rus Christianized.
Quick
Because,
question.
I mean, if you're going to be married to the sister of the emperor from Constantinople.
Quick question, though. Olga, isn't she also the one who later became a saint?
She is Saint Olga.
Yeah, and she was the one who had the whole idea of like having pigeons fly back into the
She sure
city.
did that, yes.
All right, yeah, because that was the historical character that I've taken and put into my 40k game, because that is just such a badass woman. Like that is.
Well, what happened is the people of the city, and I forget if it was Kiev or not, had killed her husband. They tortured him to death.
Yeah, no, they
They tried to frickin' get her to marry one of them.
Yeah, it's not just that. I mean, from what I remember, they took what was then they basically took a tree, they bent it down, tied the husband to that tree, and then let it go, so he was ripped apart.
Right.
Which again, that's
very disrespectful.
I mean, it's Eastern Europe. Like whenever I look at Eastern Europe and their history, I go, "Whoa, okay, that's Eastern Europe. My expectations are being met." But let's continue.
Yeah,
could be worse. Think about
it's like I can't stress it enough. It's like the moment you go from Western Europe and into Eastern Europe, you need to temper your expectations. You need to expect it to be worse. Like there is just a level of savagery you will not find. Well, unless you go into China and the Asian.
I was actually thinking the Native American Indians. They did a similar thing with the tree.
Oh yeah, no, they got creative with how they would use, nature and that. I'm just looking at man-on-man violence, because that's the way I look at Eastern Europe.
Yeah, Eastern Europe's kind of fucked.
And Saxius is 100% right. Is before the Christianization and then the final rise of the first Tsar of Russia, it was like every village was an independent thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it really was like a D&D Points of Light campaign. As soon as you left the village and started traveling through the forest, I mean, shit could happen. Plus, they had what they called the big man government, which was whoever could give the most gifts to his servants got to be kind of the ruler.
Yes.
But as soon as somebody assassinated his ass, then they got to be the ruler if they could give the gifts.
Yeah, it was all about appeasing it. Again.
But the Vikings put an end to that shit. They're like, we're not doing that.
The Vikings put an end to a lot of things. Like we just tended to just sort of go like, hey, you have money. We need to organize these monies to come back to us.
Well, it was your people that invented tax.
I don't want to give us that credit. I do have to look. I do have to look at the Romans and go, listen, they were a bit ahead of us.
In terms of still, I can imagine like a Danish warlord going to like the Norwegian warlord and being like, "Look, bro, why jump the wall and like murder them all and take all their loot when you can take a little bit of their loot, but over years, and in the long run you'll get so much more loot." And the Norwegians just like, what?
Well, again, this is an interesting. That was one of the things that I got taught at the public schools in Denmark, was how the Vikings would come down, just be an absolute nuisance to the Emperor of France or Franca, and basically like, listen, just pay us and we'll leave you alone, and we'll do it for years and years and years. And then the moment he fell back on it, we were like, okay, we're gonna go down there and we're just gonna do it again. Unfortunately, we tended to lose our ways because we got fat and lazy about it. But yeah. Again, love history. Would absolutely recommend. History is a fascinating thing if you want to.
5 stars would recommend.
But yeah, history 5 stars, 10 out of 10. Absolutely would recommend. Just sit down and just read some of it. I mean, there's even like several YouTube channels where they will sit down and be like, "Listen, these are the things that are happening here." And I personally, I like to put a little bit of finesse onto the history because often history is presented as just boring dates of like, here's X amount of people, they did this, here's what happened, this is the impact of this. Like, no, like there's so much more to this. There's a story to be told. There is something to be, to be delved into. There is so much more to it than just numbers, dates, and here's what happened. Like there's an impact.
I'm a fan of the Metatron for
Sorry, I'm just not missing that Metatron.
And as a guy who grew up in
Take care, Alfred. I'll see you tonight, man.
Yeah, James, you're clipping.
a connection issue.
Someone's turned on his microwave.
Let's see if it comes back. There we go.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, I like Metron, especially when people talk shit about like Rome. And he's from Italy, and he's just like,
Yeah, he just started showing up in my feed for some reason. I don't really, have any idea what his channel is about.
he's a guy who talks about history, specifically a lot of times Rome, but other things. He lives in America now. Apparently, he married an American woman, moved to America.
So I'm going to be a bit picky here. When people go, oh, they talk shit about Rome, it's like, okay, well, which periods?
Yeah,
Because it's 1,000 years.
Are we talking when they were kings? Are we talking the Republic? Are we talking the Empire?
But even within like the Republic, you're going to have periods.
See you later, Satya.
Take care, Satya. But yeah, like there's just so much you can talk about it. I mean, I like to go in and be like, oh, I want to talk, about the Danish kingdom. It's like, yeah, but there's been so many times. There's the period where we owned Norway. How did that work out for us? There's a time when we actually ruled most of Scandinavia, and then we fucked it up because we aren't very good at managing the Swedes. Oh, actually, we aren't good at managing.
I know there was one time, I guess, where you sunk a bunch of English ships. Because you're guarding the Baltic Ocean or some shit.
Yeah. So there's a period where we did that, and then there's also a period where England came and sunk every single. Okay, funny story. I'm gonna be on a tangent here. So England came over and basically went, right, Denmark, you're a bit of a threat. You're blocking in here. You're allied with the Napoleonic power. We're going to come into Copenhagen. We're going to burn down your entire navy, which they did. Or they burned it down. They towed it out. And we couldn't really do much. Shit. Okay. Can't really do much to that. The king put in a request that we have to plant 90,000 trees, which in the year of 2007, the Department of Forestry reported back to the Ministry of Defense that the trees requested by the Ministry of Defense is now available for the Navy.
Well, I mean,
the order from back in 1800s is apparently kept up. So they're like, yeah, but we've done that. Where I grew up, the city next to me, we still have the old castle that would be blocking the strait going into the Baltic and collecting taxes.
So my German friend refers to, no, that's the Dutch he calls swamp Germans.
Yeah, Netherlands is the swamp Germans.
Yeah. But,
which
I love history, and that is why I am such a huge fan. Forge and Brush Gaming. See, there he is. I'm such a huge fan of Baptism of Fire, The Last Vikings, because I like the mix of historical stuff with, actual Slavic and Viking monsters thrown in.
Yep.
It's kind of cool. And your players, I mean, if you pick to play in like the late 10th century, so we're talking like 988, I mean, then that's when Vladimir is doing his thing, and Bronislav or whatever his name is setting shit up in Poland, and the Vikings are running amok everywhere. And one thing they mentioned in the last Vikings a lot is Jomsvikings, which were apparently like Vikings, but they viewed their Viking as like a religious thing. And you had to be a hero to be a Jomsviking, and they really, really, really hated Christians.
So no, there definitely were factions within the Vikings that were not a fan of Christianity.
These guys kind of had this deal where if you went to trade in their city and they found out you're a Christian, they'd like boil you alive or something.
Something along those lines. But the thing, I'll be very transparent. Like, it's not anything I know a lot about. What I do know from the Scandinavian Viking interactions is that a lot of the Scandinavians converted because they found that they would actually get discounts if they were Christians. So commerce was a huge thing for why they were converting.
Well, commerce has always been a huge thing with all the Scandinavians.
Yeah, but like
Meister sends his regards. See, Shadow was just asked about you, Fritz, and I said I watched a video of you painting Napoleon just the other day. We don't see you around here much, but I do occasionally watch you paint tiny little Frenchmen or whatever you were painting. Yes, see, Shadow. Forge and Brush Gaming is Fritz.
Okay, I'll go check him out.
Well, it's the same guy we've known for like years. I mean, it's
just he was, his schedule kept changing, and I have a pretty strict schedule, despite being able to do whatever the hell I want.
Well, yeah, because if you act up, you're going to get smacked with a freaking shoe.
No, that's never going to happen.
Your Mexican wife, she'll pull that slipper off and sling it through the house. It'll be like a guided missile.
No.
Okay.
No. My wife is so so the exact opposite of most of the Mexican stereotypes.
Well, I don't like that. I like Mexican stereotypes.
I do too. I thought I was getting a whole bunch of them, and I just.
The only one who plays along is Jackie.
Yeah, he's
Jackie plays along. He wears a sombrero. He's always out doing yard work.
I wish he was out there doing yard work. No,
Fritz is a good guy. No one's denying that.
Just 7 hours ahead of us.
No one is denying Fritz's good guidance at all. But that's why I fell in love with the pundit games, which some people may like and some people may not like. But in my own homebrew games, I was already introducing a lot of, like in my homebrew world, it was basically Russian. So I was already introducing like Pernich, Lechi, Baba Yaga and all that shit. And then he comes out with a game and I'm like, well, that's pretty close. And then he comes out with another game that goes into if you want to play Kievan Rus. And I'm like, well, okay, that's basically what I want. Plus, I kind of didn't like, and now I kind of do like, when you go up a level, you can either pick a thing from the chart or roll twice. But you don't know what you're going to get. But you might get the thing you were going to pick and a bonus thing.
I thought that was a core concept because I remember that from the Lion and Dragon book.
It's in Lions and Dragons. And when I saw it in Lions and Dragons, what I'm saying is I didn't like it.
No, I
felt like it didn't take it took control from the character. But I think after having played a little bit of Stars Without Numbers, which also kind of has a randomization system to what skills you get or whatever, now I kind of like it. Because it's like if you want more hit points, you can either pick the extra hit die or you can roll the 2 die 10 or whatever and hope to get the extra hit die.
Yeah.
Or not.
So stars without number with the level up, I do quite enjoy the fact that you roll your total hit die twice. And
Right.
then you can go above. I mean, at the very least, you're going to stay at the same level, or you're going to go up. That's a nice way of having that bit of progression.
Yeah, I think the way it works is you roll your hit die for your new level, and it has to be at least 1 greater than it was.
Yes. So you take all of your hit dice. So if you're like level 3 and you're, I don't know, a warrior, you take 3d10 and you roll that twice. It has to be equal to or higher than your current hit dice. If both of them are less than, you keep your current hit point amount.
Right.
Which it keeps it lethal, but it also means that like when you progress a nice deal, or at least you make some form of progression and you feel it's fair. So I quite like that. I like that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But Kevin Crawford has also, I mean, I will sing the praises of Kevin Crawford when it comes to like his idea of the faction system, because my economical gremlin likes to sit and play around with that, and I've been using it ever since I discovered it.
I own every core game Kevin Crawford has made, and I like every single one of them. And like you, I agree that with his system, it's like, I've told people this before when doing reviews, even if you didn't want to play Stars Without Number, but you were playing Traveler, you should still look at Stars Without Number because it's got so many great charts in it. And the way he does the tag system, like who, where, when, what. I mean, the guy's just a master at game creation. He really is.
He also does something that's bold, I would say. When he has made a product, he puts it out for free.
Yeah. Just no art.
No art, no nothing. Here's just the core concepts. And he also takes out some of the expansion stuff, like additional stuff.
Yeah.
I personally, if I like it, I will immediately turn around and go, right, on principle, I am buying this because I will support him. Now, that's maybe the downside of having principles and believing that, if I like something, I need to support the artist because they have made something and I like it. And therefore, I feel obligated that I need to go out and give them the support as a consumer.
I've never felt repped off by buying anything he's ever made.
No.
And that has happened to me recently. I bought the new Coriolis rulebook, the Great Dark or whatever, and after reading it, I was like, I have no interest in this game. I mean, the thing that made me like Coriolis was the setting, and the setting in that is just like not anything I'm interested in.
Coriolis, that is I'm trying to locate it.
Free League.
Oh, right. Yeah, Coriolis, yeah. It's like 1001 Arabian Nights inspired, isn't it?
The first one is very much kind of like that.
Right. Because that's what drew me into that, because I didn't want another Western-inspired sci-fi game. So when I saw that you now had a Persian/Arabian-inspired game, I was like, okay, I would very much like that. That is different. Again, small side tangent. The naming of like Arabian or Persian names is super interesting because you'll have the name of city of family or of family of city. Which will mean you'll have, a rather long name, but it's got meaning.
It's got some great concepts I really like, but I haven't been able to convince anyone to play it. So
I've tried to convince. I mean, at one point I might just go, players, you're playing this. It's not a question. It's not a suggestion. It's a command. You are playing this.
I have done that.
Go on, Bam.
Usually when I do that, I sit down at the table and I just put a stack of pre-generated characters in the middle of the table. And I tell the players, all right, pick the character you want to play. That's just the way it goes. Which is probably going to happen at some point in the future with Star Frontiers. Heaven knows I've already made like 40 characters for it. So something there for everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing any DMing right now. I'm totally taking a break from it. And what used to be our game night has become my wife's board game night, because she loves board games and we own like so many. And she's always like, we never get to play, all these board games we own. So I said, well, I'm going to take a break from running games, and now the night is for board games for a while. And so like last week we played a few different board games and had a blast, actually.
Oh,
Like I have the Dune Imperium game with all the expansions. That's a good one. And of course the classics, Splendor, Carcassonne, Catan, So, and that's just what I'm going to do for a while. And then when I get back into the mood to run a game, we're going to probably play superheroes.
Yep.
Yes, I have Twilight Imperium. That's not a game. That's a toolbox that you can make a game out of if you want. Just by adding or ignoring rules as you feel the desire to do so.
So
I
James, you mentioned
the
that
new one though. I have like the old one, like the first edition one. I hear the new one's way cooler. They added a lot of cooler stuff.
So James, you said you wanted to do superheroes.
I have the Marvel game, and a lot of the people that I game with have already created their characters.
Right.
So
quick question: have you heard of this? It's a rather niche game called Heroic.
I have.
May run on a similar. Sorry.
I'm a backer.
Yeah, my point is, I'm just trying to rope you into running that as a game.
Yep. Me and Bear have discussed this at length. I hate Face Rip.
Fair enough.
Absolutely despise it. I hated
it
when they put it in 3rd edition Gamma World. I hated it when they put it in Zebulon's Guide for Star Frontiers. I do not like anything about Face Rip.
So, question: isn't Marvel based on Face Rip?
No, they have a new game.
No, the new Marvel, you basically roll 3 dice 6, and one of them is your Marvel die, right?
Right.
And you add them together, and if you beat the target number, you succeed. And then your damage and everything is a multiple of whatever come up on the Marvel die.
Okay.
And the Marvel die doesn't have a 1 on it. It has 2 6s. 1 is 6, and 6 is 6. But only the 1 is the Marvel. Basically, if you've got the die, if it comes up Marvel on the die roll, it's like a critical success.
So it kind of sounds like the wild die mechanism in D6 Star Wars.
Kinda. You roll, say you've got your risk dice, right? So you roll 2 white and 1 red.
Okay. Anytime
the red die comes up as a 1, that's a Marvel. And if you succeed at the mission, the thing you're trying to do, like if you're trying to punch somebody in the face, then you double damage them. But even if you fell, but you got a Marvel, it means that you could have failed but still did something really cool. So it's very simple. The DM says, oh, you're trying to punch this guy, the target number's 12. And then they grab the die and look at that. and that's it. My wife has the coolest character
So
because her
what
character's
you're leaving
got, like,
out-
all the luck skills.
what you're leaving out is the reason why they did this is because if you get a 616 with the one on the Marvel die, you're doing the Marvel Universe's universal number, which is the universe of 616.
Yep,
And hence
I
that's
didn't
the
know that.
As a result of that, they created the most wonky fucking mechanic possible because Marvel insisted on having this 616 thing, and gamers are like, wait, high is good except on this die when it's low. It's what the fuck? As a
Yeah.
result of that, I loved this game when it was the playtest edition because there was so much untapped potential in it. I have it all right here because I support Matt Forbeck because he's a great guy and he's been on my show many times. I like him a lot, but I don't think it's a great game. It feels like it was written by people who were being told what to do as opposed to writing the best game they could. And
And
it's
you
produced
could
by
be
Marvel.
100% right. You could very well be, and heaven knows I trust your opinion on superheroes more than mine because I don't read comic books. To hell with that. Everything I know
telling you.
about superheroes, I learned from cartoons and movies.
I keep telling you to pick this up, the deluxe starter set. It's worth it. If you're gonna run the game.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
What's up, Red Hulk?
Just saying it's worth it. But hang on, I'm going to show you something.
but it's look. Here's the thing you got to understand. I wanted to pick that up, and then I picked this up.
Okay, then you made a choice.
Yeah, and apparently, those assholes are talking shit. But you know what? I never take the British talking shit seriously.
What assholes are talking shit about what?
Games Workshop's making fun of Charlie Kirk or something.
Oh, Jesus.
It's
So
like
it's-
no one
it's-
gives a shit about anything the British have to say.
So it is one employee who is doing that, and
Probably a
he's-
guy that works for Black Library, if I had to guess.
No, he's working for Games Workshop directly, and I would direct you to watch Arch Warhammer if you want more information on what
So-
exactly is going on.
Yeah,
Regular die has your 1 to 6, right?
Yep.
It's regular old fucking D6. Marvel die 6. Oh, Marvel. Except it originally was a 1, and when during the playtest, and hence we got the 616 mentality.
Yeah,
And,
they even call it the 616 system.
Yep.
And he is right. If you buy the set of Marvel dice on the Marvel die, there is no 1. It just says Marvel.
yeah, that sounds like
wonky.
the worst way to design a system.
Oh my God.
To base it on one trivial little Easter eggy kind of bit of
And
trivia.
then you
It's
can
not
get
based
the
off of
get the
that.
base
That's
set
just how
of
you
regular
know.
dice. So
Yeah.
this is the regular dice, and you can also get the X-Men dice.
Oh, nice. I have the X-Men dice. I didn't know there were regular dice.
Yeah, there's
Um,
Spider-Man on them.
It is not based off of the Marvel die. That's just how you know if you get a crit or not. That's like saying I don't like D&D because if you roll a 20, you get a crit.
Well, some people don't.
True.
I'm not saying they're right. I'm just saying, people out there.
No,
tastes.
and Baptism of Fire, if you roll 20, you don't get, well, you get a crit, but that means you roll on a table to see if you cut somebody's hand off or something. Not that you do, generic.
Anyway,
ass.
James and I had our conversation about why he doesn't use heroic, and he's allowed to be wrong. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to tell him he's
And I
he's-
appreciate you having the forbearance, especially since I back the shit and I think I'm a patron now.
Are you? Oh, good. Thank you.
Well,
I think
not
go
at
ahead.
a high ranking because,
no. There's only 2 rankings, 5 and 10, so
right.
one or the other.
Because
But
I mean, I got to save some money to give to England to keep their economy going. Buying all this Games Workshop shit. But
I've offered to run James in a heroic session so he can learn how the system works and see that it's actually good. But people who there are
I
people
have
who
watched
accept the
your
color
heroic
chart, and there are
sessions,
people who won't.
and what did I say?
Hey, you've enjoyed that again. Notice I'm not criticizing you.
I've watched
The
him
lady-
run
the
it for
lady
both
doth
of them,
protest
and I've
too
been
much.
Like, man, that looks fun.
It is fun.
But
But
here's the
some
difference,
people don't like it.
though. If you were running it, I would play it no matter what it was.
Yeah.
But if I'm running it, you see the difference? As a
Because you-
player, I wouldn't give a shit. You'd say roll your percentile die and add something. I'd be like, blam, it's this. And then it's on you to tell me what happens. But once you put it on the DM, I just don't care for the face ripses.
It's because you've never played it properly. That's why.
I am not going to disagree with you, sir.
I'm just
You
being a
could be
bitch.
right.
on you.
For all I know,
I'm
you could be
loving
right.
this.
I'm not going
I wish I
to.
had popcorn.
But
Me too.
Yeah,
Wow, guys, I'm barely saying anything. Relax.
I know, but it's him being riled up. It's like I'm loving this. You
I'm
can
not
barely say
riled
anything.
up. I'm agreeing with him 100%. Riled
So
up is
it's-
when I start dropping F-bombs and
Listen, motherfucker! And then it's all. Now we're at it. Now it's Florida firefight.
only
It's
one
been-
person has ever riled me up on a live stream,
Who's that?
and he doesn't come on my live streams anymore ever.
Is that the one who Mossad stole his bike?
No, he got mad because I said I was old enough to be his dad, and he took it personal, like that I was saying I was his dad. Well, I did joke. I did ask him if his mom had ever been to Windsor back in the 80s.
Oh wow!
Because when I went to Canada, that was back in like the 80s, but anyway, he took it personal, so F him if you can't take a joke like that. No, that is my good BattleTech buddy, who
Raven?
I will to this day give props. The guy knows BattleTech,
Okay, yeah, Raven.
and he knows the lore and all the different eras way better than I do. But then again, I don't give a shit about the other eras.
I haven't
except
seen that
Baltimore.
guy in ages. He stopped coming to my channel.
Well, because he said that if you kept on, you would turn into an idiot or something.
Hmm?
He
What? He said what?
is a great guy if you could get him to just stop talking politics.
Oh well, good for him.
But he can't stop talking politics. And his politics is like ultra far left,
No Jesus.
which is like the worst, when he's trying to tell you.
No, ultra far right's pretty fucking bad too. Let's be
Well,
honest.
I've never ran into anybody online that's ultra far right, though.
And you remember where they meet, right?
Except for maybe me. I might be the most far right person I know.
No,
Yeah, well, you're not ultra far right, that's for sure.
no.
I'll
You're
be
Christian
honest with you, I'm
conservative.
not sure what ultra far right is.
I told
Everybody
you
talks about
they
it. I'm not
meet.
sure I've ever
They
seen it.
meet. The ultra far right meets where the ultra far left does. They share one thing in common. They
both
hate
hate
the
Jews.
Jews. They hate the fucking Jews for some reason. It's amazing.
Yeah. But
No, Bruce, you're not far right. You guys understand what you think is far right is just right. The problem is that the Democrats moved everything so fucking far to the left. You're just standing there going, "How did I become the Nazi?"
you know what? Elon Musk actually posted that meme. It showed like him in the left, and then like the left ran, and the next thing you know, he was right, and he's like, "What the hell?"
I think that's been
Paladin, are you a centrist? Well done, sir. Welcome to the small but intelligent club that thinks for themselves.
Hey, you know what I told you? If there's
I-
one thing every political faction agrees on, it's that we all hate the centrists.
Yeah, because we think for ourselves. We make our own decisions. I know we're horrible.
But anyway,
Yeah, I don't
basically-
know where that would put me because I despise politicians, all of them.
I
But
don't know.
I
feel-
do consider myself.
Saxon
Right,
has been trying to spit this out for 3 minutes. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
it
Sax.
is hilarious. It's just whenever I try to say like, oh, I consider myself right wing, and then the moment I engage in political discussions with anyone from the USA, I'm like, I'm goddamn left leaning in
Fuck,
comparison.
I'm a fucking hippie. What the fuck? You know,
Exactly. I believe in the rights of the people. I believe in
Yeah,
having all
what?
these even like what's considered to be far right by Danish standards. It's like, no, that's really tame, Oscar. That's
Yeah, I learned
That's
that
like-
from English people too. Like
but
their
this-
far right would be our left if they were here.
So Sax.
Yeah.
When dealing with Americans, okay,
Yeah.
you need to understand this. As a Canadian, I'll give you my perspective. Amongst my friends, in Canada, I'm the woo-woo guy,
Yeah.
I'm the reactionary guy, and I'm the conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Then I hang out with these guys, don't change any of my beliefs or stances, and I'm the debunker somehow.
Skeptic.
The guy calling for fucking rational thought and discourse. And what was the last one I said? And the guy who says, listen, there might be something to this conspiracy, but don't get caught up in it and make sure you look into your stuff before you say anything. They're amazing at making you in our socialist weird fucking cultures we live in. We're like, oh my God, I'm just really out there, aren't I? Ooh, rah. Then we deal with Americans and we're like, we are the nicest, just milk toasty little fuckers, aren't we?
I remember in a conversation I got told, Oscar, isn't it nice to come from a country that actually cares about you? And I sat there and went, oh, okay. And I was like, I don't have a comeback.
The
best line
can do for us, Oscar. We ask what we can do for our country.
And as I've been saying, ever since Bush 2, they've needed to change it from land of the free, home of the brave to hold my beer, watch this. That needs to be the motto of America.
That is the American way.
Yep.
You know, you're like in the middle of somewhere and there's a bunch of, say, Arab type dudes shooting at you. That's a hold my beer moment right there. It's like hold my beer, we're getting ready to do some shit.
To put it in perspective, as a centrist in Canada, I'm considered conservative.
Even my fantasy dystopian visions of like what a cyberpunk world should be like, when I present that to some people, they're like, I'd like to live there.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's like,
you're already living in a dystopian future. It's called the dystopian present.
It depends on your perspective of this.
I mean, before long, Elon Musk is going to be able to. You can put stuff in your brain so you can listen to radio.
Oh no! Have you not seen the one Bill Gates and BlackRock are sponsoring? It doesn't go in your brain. It's a fucking injection that goes into your veins and creates a lattice network of communicative devices. It's fucking Black Mirror level crazy.
Fuck that. I'm glad I'm dying of old age soon. Wow.
It could be worse. Could be a suppository.
No.
Yeah, but you have a good chance of shitting that out. That's all I'm saying. When they put it in your vein, you're fucked.
What was that movie when the one guy's like, you got to take this? And the guy's like, you expect me to swallow that? And he says, I got good news for you.
Isn't that is that Top Secret?
It might be. It's
with Dabney Coleman?
No, Top Secret is Val Kilmer.
Yeah, I got good news for you. It's a bomb.
What am I thinking of with the one with Jack Flack?
Oh, that's Cloak and Dagger. I love that movie.
Okay.
Fuck, I watched that movie last year. I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and I still love that fucking movie.
Thanks. Right, Squirrel? Yeah, it's
But anyway, yeah, we get involved in political talk, I think, way too much.
Yeah, but we also come off of it really, really well, and we don't get up each other's asses.
Well, we don't get mad about it, but I'd rather talk about games and history.
Yeah, I think we've all had like a really rough couple of weeks.
Well, especially this last couple of weeks, emotions are high.
Yeah,
people are,
I mean, I can only speak for myself, but like it's been a rough year. It's been a rough couple of decades.
Okay, let me do two things real quick. One, it's from Futurama.
Oh,
I can't swallow that. Good news! It's a suppository.
Yeah.
Second, as I've been saying for the longest time, the July was a hell of a year. So the summer of 2025 has been a hell of a year. And 2025 itself has been one fucking creepy decade. Like, that's how this year has felt. It's just like, I saw a conspiracy theory type woo-woo thing where they were talking about how when they turned on CERN, Earth shifted into an alternate dimension, which explains all the Mandela effects. And I'm starting to believe them.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Shit.
Because, man, the demons are amok, Like, they're running free.
They've always been there.
Stop, you Catholic fucking Catholics. Oh, my
He's
God.
He's not Catholic, I don't think.
Aren't you Catholic? I thought you were Catholic.
I was
Jackie
born.
is Catholic.
Yeah, I was born a
Jackie
Roman
is
Catholic.
very, very Catholic.
Became a Baptist.
Fuck.
Drifted far away from the church, and now I'm going to a Catholic church.
Got into gay porn.
Oh, so I was correct. He's Catholic. He goes to a Catholic
Repented,
church.
went back to a
But
Catholic.
he did a little stint in the what's crazier than Catholic? Baptist. I'm in.
Don't mean to burst your bubble, but I still consider myself more Baptist than Catholic.
Extra crazy. That's all.
I'm not going to make fun of you for being.
Gotta make them.
Dude,
Although I am looking at Orthodoxy, so
You know damn well I was raised Church
That's
of
the one
England.
you need.
Or as Eddie Izzard refers to it, the church with no shoulders, right? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Well, so have I. That's what I was raised in.
Eddie Izzard, when he's talking about,
Yeah.
you go to the Church of England and like the priest is up in front of the pew and he's reading like a Vogue magazine or something.
Yeah.
The articles out of it.
He goes, you Catholics, you do all your Hail Marys and your rosaries. If you go to a vicar, you say vicar. He goes, all right, well, do 3 hello dollies and and have a Bloody Mary, and there you go.
No, that's true. I will say this though, very recently it was in the news that an entire diocese of the Church of England in England converted to Orthodoxy.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Well, because I mean,
So
the
here's the
Orthodox
thing.
Church will not allow foreigners to step on our shit.
So I like Orthodoxy as a concept. I think it's really fun. There's some downsides to Orthodoxy, and it's called Eastern Europe. That's the downside to Orthodoxy.
Well, hold on though. Do you
I'm gonna have to
consider
steal
the
that.
Balkans
That's good.
to be part of Eastern Europe?
Yes.
Because I always think of it as Southern Europe, because the Slavs from the Balkans are called the Southern Slavs.
Yeah, that's only amongst Slavs that give a fuck about that.
That's-
Okay, for the
I'm
rest
sorry.
of them, that's just Eastern Europe.
For the
baby.
rest of Europe, the
Yeah.
moment you start hitting Poland, Czech, you're in Slav land.
Yeah,
Like that's just like you've traveled into like
There's even
bandit
lands
country.
named that. Like it used to be Czechoslovakia, and now it's the Czech Republic and the Slav Republic. It's like, and our first lady is from Slovenia.
Yeah. Is it Slovenia or Slovakia? One of them, like I think we were talking about this earlier, has put an AI as their minister of finance because there was so much corruption in contract that they just went fuck it, and they got an algorithm that takes in all the bids, analyzes them, and then picks the one for it.
I
Because
think that's Slovakia.
yeah, like they just were like
Here's
fuck
the
it,
sad
too much
thing
corruption, too much bribery, fuck it.
Which okay, fun.
Here's the sad thing. Yes, they are my Orthodox Slavic brothers. And every one of those countries are just as corrupt as the day is long. I mean, it's so weird. It's like you go to church every Sunday, you kiss the icons, you do mass, and then you immediately go out and see how you can F over somebody. It's
Oh,
like,
it's not even just that. I mean, I was having a conversation at my last job with someone who was from Hungary, and basically because we had an incident where the discussion of corruption and bribery came up. Me being Danish, I was raised. Denmark is like one of the least corrupt countries in the world to begin with, so I was raised with rather strict beliefs that you don't do this.
right.
And my Hungarian friend just went, "What do you mean? This is just a part of life in some places, Oscar. You got to understand that." I was like, "Okay, well, explain to me why it's good. This should be a net negative." And I gave all sort of economic reasons, and he just went, "Well, let me give you a reason why it makes sense. You are in the hospital. I care about you, so I'm not going to go and get you flowers. I'm going to get the biggest basket of goodies for the doctor looking after you to bribe him to look after you. That's why I do it." And I was like, fuck, this makes sense. But it's still wrong.
It may be some leftover thing from the big man system of governance that they
No,
had before.
No, because the French are corrupt, the Italians are
No.
corrupt. They're all corrupt like this. Trust me.
It's not just because of the USSR. The USSR has had its impact and it's fostered a reason for it. But corruption is something that you will find in human nature. You can't take that out.
Let me ask you a question, James. When you think about the most badass Vikings, who do you think of? Do you think of the Danes? No. No one thinks of the fucking Danes. They think the
Norwegians.
crazy, no, exactly. They think the crazy Norwegians, right? Danes are not a strongman culture. Danes are a sensible person culture, which is, yeah, it's all very good to do this, but how much does this cost? You know, like that's sort of the way the Dane brain works, right? You look at Italians, that's a macho culture. Fucking Slavs, macho culture.
They are very much so.
Right?
Yeah.
Macho cultures, the French for the longest time were a macho culture, and then they became, whatever the fuck they are now.
And then they become the Islamic culture.
Exactly. There you go. As they say in France, inshallah. But the point is, inshallah. But the point is, macho cultures lead to corruption more so than non-macho cultures.
Really?
Just the way it is. Except for the Chinese. Because the Chinese are not a macho culture, but they're as corrupt as fuck. I had a buddy who was doing contracting work in Vancouver and was with a Chinese company based out of Hong Kong. And let's say, for numbers' sake, they promised him $1.5 million for the job. He does the job, and he gets paid $1 million. So he reaches out and he goes, "Why the fuck? Where's the other $500,000 that you owe me?" And they go, "Don't worry, we're going to give you 5 more contracts this year." He's like, "But you owe me $500,000. Where the fuck is it?" And they're like, "You're going to get 5 more contracts this year." And then his friend who is Chinese goes, "If you don't accept this, you get 0 more contracts this year. Do you understand?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, I get it." So that's how they do business. But because you're willing to play ball, they'll throw more business at you because you'll play ball with them, right? Whereas if you act like a fucking Dane, no offense, and be all like, "I'm sorry, the contract says 1.5 million. Where's my fucking 0.5?" They go, "Okay, here's your money." And you never see them again. They don't talk to you. They don't deal with you. They don't want anything to do with you anymore. That's how they do business.
Taiwan is my uncle moved there. He was very rich. And as soon as he moved there, they hooked him up with the daughter of one of the head generals in the Taiwanese military and to marry. And he had my nephew, cousin Eugene. And because he's Jewish, she's Chinese. Not that there's that much of a difference, honestly.
The cheapest fucking child alive. Can you send him to school in Scotland, please?
He's making so much money right now. It's God bless the guy. But
this is the table I want to see. I want to see the Chinese guy, the Jewish guy, and the Scottish guy at the table when the check hits the fucking center of it.
see guys that way quicker.
See who comes up with something to get away from that table.
It's gonna be a standoff. They're just all gonna be sitting there eye fucking each other like who's gonna. But anyway, he opened up factories, and of course the laborers he got sucked balls, and he had about 50% Q&A fail rate on the stuff he was making. About half the stuff that was being made was failing Q&A.
Yeah, quality was falling off.
Yeah. Because in his words, the Chinese workers just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then he eventually ran out of a lot of money, and it got down to where maybe he had, a little over $1 million, right? At that point, he and his son were invited to leave Taiwan by the government and not come back. So he moved to Mexico, where 1.5 American is, you're set for life, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Married a Mexican woman, opened a restaurant, and then bought a bunch of warehouses and Saltillo, which he rents out to people who want to store things, mostly Ford, right?
Yeah.
And he's doing very well. So Eugene grew up speaking Cantonese, Mandarin, Spanish, and English. So when he became an adult and got out of college, he moved back to Taiwan and got a job as a translator for like the diplomatic corps or some shit, because he loved everybody. And he's making great money, but sometimes he does say that it's weird because he knows they don't consider him to be one of them.
Yeah.
No, they
like he's always going to be like Gaijin or whatever, but
yeah.
But he's doing great, and he, and I love it. But that's what happened, man. My uncle went there and he had like $5 million, and everyone in the government and everything, they're falling all over themselves for him. As soon as he started losing all that money, it was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And the reason I tell that story is because basically Chinese culture, their god is money.
Yes.
Well,
That is their god, money.
well, I can't speak for Taiwan. I can speak for mainland China. Well,
Well,
at least my
then you're
experience is there.
speaking for Taiwan because mainland China, that's just mainland Taiwan.
We are going to agree to disagree on that.
Let it go.
I am gonna have to bite my tongue on that. That's no.
Come on.
No,
That's what we call it. East Taiwan.
no,
No.
no, no. I having sat in classrooms where kids from Taiwan would have to then sit and be told by the teachers, no, your country is a part of China. It's like that was an experience.
Yeah, you'll never run into that in America.
No.
What you will run into in America on my channel is Bear telling poor Raven that she's a woo-woo.
I haven't talked to Raven about that in ages. She'll send me stuff on Facebook every now and then. I'll just be like, thanks for the woo-woo update, Raven.
Yeah. I love Raven. I literally should get in contact with her and tell her, hey, come on my channel and we will talk about all the Bigfoots and every other thing you ever
Raven is
want.
Raven is 100% our Mexican non-union Linda Moulton Howe.
Yeah.
You can have her.
What?
Nope.
What do you got against Raven? What do you got against Raven?
Everything. I will
What
never
happened?
speak to her. I'll never speak to her again. Excuse me.
What happened?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about it off camera. I'm just
This is
Wow.
a part of Shadow I've never seen.
Yeah.
just all kinds of stuff you guys don't know, and I'm not going to talk about it.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the after show now.
Well, fine. Keep your secrets.
Well, no, I'm just not going to spread. I'm just
I
not
mean,
going
you
to
kind
spread.
of look like Gandalf or Saruman, so.
I'm just not going to, talk ill of the dead.
Okay.
All right.
I have no strong opinions.
Meanwhile,
Back to
Heroic is
tabletop.
awesome, and you should all be playing Heroic because it's the greatest thing ever. And if you're on the Patreon, you will be tied into a fucking endless supply of universal material that you can use for your campaigns, and
Yeah,
enjoy that.
yeah.
And sometimes
Uh,
you can watch him run the game, and it's really fun.
3 times a week, and I'm thinking about adding a 4th game on the off week because I didn't run any games this week, and I'm jonesing for a game.
I was going to say, like, sometimes it's a regular thing. You've got a catalog of things to go back through. You've got so much stuff on the Patreon that it is just begging to be used. Materials where you ask yourself, like, when am I going to be able to run this? Because you are just overwhelmed.
It's
so
good.
It felt good, and I'm
Yeah,
also
I-
biased.
I have that problem now. I'm literally looking at a new stack of books, thanks to the squirrel over here. Dying Earth. Oh my God, when am I ever going to fit that in? Somehow soon. I don't know
Well,
when.
It's very simple, Shadow and Sun. It's very simple. You take Heroic, you put it at the top, and then you prioritize it beyond that. You tell your current group, you are not allowed to run your current games or play in this game. You're now playing Heroic. Why? Because I tell you to. I run
Give me a
these
C, a bouncy C. You grab Heroic and you make some characters and you start playing and a da-da-D and a da-da-da and whatever the hell else you want to throw in there. Listen,
Homemade corn
all other
chowder
games are
and grilled cheese sandwiches. Nice.
Corn chowder. Do you make it with chicken? Because my mom used to make corn chowder with chicken and bacon. Fuck, it was good. Oh.
I don't.
Oh.
Anyway, though, when
Well,
we
let me make it-
last,
look,
when we last
look.
left
You
off,
see all this?
we
You
were
see all
before
this? Hang on.
Japan.
Hang on. You see all this? You see all this stuff behind me?
Yes.
All inferior to Heroic. Every single one of them is inferior to Heroic. Heroic is the greatest role-playing game ever conceptualized by human minds. And it's gonna save the world. They'll all be playing Heroic.
Oh,
It'll be
dear
great.
God.
Oh yeah, that's what everyone says.
And
Everyone
Okay,
says
okay,
it's the
well-
best.
Okay, I know you're trying to do Trump, but you're coming off as Jay Scott. So just saying.
I'm just doing
Well,
the
my
voice. I
point
don't care
is-
what voice it is.
My point is, it's also dirt cheap. For $5 a month, you can get everything in there. For $10 a month, you can get that and so much more. Music, insights, interviews, the whole
Look
nine
at
yards.
you guys.
You want to put your characters into the proper reality of what the scene of universe is like. $10 a month. Not only can you afford that, hell, you're competing with some of the charges that the charities are trying to do, and they're trying to make a difference for someone out there. We're trying to make a difference for your world, for your gaming world. That will
And
have
let
an
me
immediate
say-
impact that you can feel, that you can sense, that you can roll for. And it's all right there. $10 a month.
And if you don't feel like you are able to really understand it, for $50 a month, you and 3 of your friends can play in a 3 to 4 hour once a month game that I will run personally for you.
Tempting.
You got no excuses now.
I do. I'm in almost a game every single day, writing for 2 companies, and I've got 2 games on Saturday.
I'm
Well,
hearing
You
excuses.
know what I love?
But what we're looking for, Shadow, is solutions.
I love.
And you have the
Sounds like you're
solution.
looking. It sounds like you're looking for like a direct deposit from my bank account.
This is why I
I
don't
am
shill,
trying-
by the way. Everybody's always trying to get me to shill shit because this is how I shill. I just over exaggerate it to the point of pain.
Just have Saxius on it and let him do it for you. You can take a break.
It's what I do. I literally
do.
come
I'm
on just
sitting here.
to do
I'm
that.
sitting here thinking, people that are from countries that some people would consider socialist. I don't. And here you guys are making me proud with your capitalism. I'm like,
Hey,
hell yeah.
I'm not hiding the fact that I believe that you need to support the creators with your money. You like something, go and give them the money, give them the encouragement, because fiscal support makes a difference. And
Obviously.
it's what's making this heroic. Again, I am utterly biased. I'm not even trying to hide it. I'm telling you up front. This is how transparent I am. The Dane within me requires me to disclose this in front of you.
Did you ever sell used cars by chance?
No, I did shipping. I would convince you that you had to ship your stuff with my company. Why? Well, listen, we're going to be more expensive than the guy down the road. But what am I going to give you? I'm going to give you a human contact. You can email us, you can phone us, and you're going to be having a name to the guy that's overseeing your stuff being delivered. Similar to this, you're going to be given a product, and you're going to be given a slew of characters, not just heroes. You're going to be given villains, vigilantes, even the unaligned, those who have got no stake in either way. You're going to be given
But
that.
Bear, I don't know how to create a superhero setting. Well, have I got news for you? I've got
It's called Japan.
10 American cities for you that you could play in. I've got international cities. I've got space. You want to go play in space? I got a whole space campaign for you.
Okay.
You like them Guardians of the Galaxy? Well, I got you covered.
You like Gotham? You want to be dark and gritty? Well, have you ever heard of Queen City? Well, there's an entire 10 sections of deep, detailed information down to the NPCs.
Have I ever heard of Queens? Yes. My parents grew up.
Not Queens.
My dad grew up there.
Queen City, not Queen.
No, I imagine it was the same thing.
No, it's not.
It
It's
is
actually
No.
Mississippi. I mean,
it's
50
it's
Cent
Pacific
did
Northwest, and it
that.
rains all the time.
It's
It's-
awesome.
Or was it
It's-
5? How many times did 50 get shot?
He said 9.
Well, that was in Queens, literally across the main thoroughfare from the apartment where my pop grew up.
Clearly, this is a sales pitch meant for people that are in a different world. It's okay.
Yeah, you're not selling
Hero-
me on it. I already paid.
Heroic's the kind of game that if you're going to play it, you got to be the right person. If you're not the right person, we understand. No one holds that against you. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
I think I would do quite well. I just need to
maybe you're probably
loosen up my schedule and finish.
I don't know. It sounds like it's more of a North Haverbrook or Hadleyville kind of idea. That's all I'm saying.
monorail.
I was working on a couple of character ideas, but I just gotta. I got a couple obligations I got to take care of, and then we'll see.
Oh, dude, I'm just fucking with you guys.
I know.
You guys are supportive, and I appreciate it. Trust me, I really do.
Well, I know what character I would make.
Oh dear God.
Well, I know what character I would copy. The comedian,
Mm-hmm.
because he's my favorite character.
I've unfortunately shared my character concept with Bear, who is just a giant accountant.
We got witches, we got warriors, we got werewolf, we got what you want.
That's it. That's it, Coco.
So we used to have these commercials in the 90s here for this local computer company, and they would do these like other stores try to hard sell you, and they'd cut to these like various salespeople, and they get to this one guy, and he's like, "Hey, we got bits, we got bytes. Look at that mouse. Look at the size of that thing. That's not a mouse. That's a rat." You know, that's how it feels like right now.
Well, yeah.
And now we've got Coco in the chat. He was my MVP. I stole that from you, Bear, for my
stealing.
For my Savage Swords game. I forgot to do it last week or just the other day because we were running out of time. Or did I do that?
I need to look at my analytics and see if Canada's passed up Russia.
No, all I've got is U.S. and Canada on mine.
Yeah, for the longest time, my number one viewers all came from Russia, and Vietnam's a close second.
That's weird.
I think that, like, well, okay, the one guy who comes in here, not your
Yeah.
Echo? That's Andre. He lives in St.
does he?
Petersburg, Russia. Yes. That's why he sometimes says Cyrillic stuff to me. And I'm like, no, or yes, or whatever. He used to, instead of not your Echo, he used to have his actual name, but in Cyrillic. I used to have a lot of Russians that watch the show, and apparently a lot of Vietnamese.
So
too. But that could be because I have a half sister in
my
Ho Chi
music
Minh
channel
City.
is mostly Americans, then Germany, Russia, Ukraine, and Poland. That's the top 5. My Bear the Gen X GM channel, 46.7% American, 12% Canadian, and then it just drops off precipitously, like 1.9% United Kingdom, 0.4% New Zealand. It's like, okay.
Well, I'm not complaining because you guys all know that I love my brothers to the north. You guys are the best hat ever, and I would.
You guys are a fucking leaky basement that has mold. That's how we feel. We love you, but Jesus, we got to clean that mold out and fix those leaks. Jesus Christ.
I have no response.
This is my
to
new
that.
technique for whenever someone from the States refers to us as your attic, we refer to you as our basement. Which makes Mexico the sub pump. The sump pump is Mexico.
You know what? From now on, I'm just going to assume everyone I meet from Canada lives in Toronto.
New York City!
Toronto. And just hear them all go off.
Coco says you missed MVP last time.
live in Toronto.
Coco says you didn't do MVP last time.
Sorry, what?
Coco says you missed doing the MVP last game.
Yes, I realize that. But I also realized that he probably just would have won it 2 weeks in a row.
I'm not going to say anything
That's
about
okay.
that because Coco's won many times in my games as well, but sometimes he doesn't win. And that's always good too.
So, fighting ninjas, huh?
That's one game. Yeah, they're fighting ninjas, but they're about to learn that it's more than ninjas going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, huh.
They've kind of pissed off the Syndicate. The Syndicate.
Well, some people were fighting ninjas, and other people were standing around in America trying to figure out
So
what
there's
they
two
were
things
doing.
happening right now. One is the Syndicate, which is basically in the Zenith universe in America only. The ethnic mobs do not exist. They all unified together as the Syndicate that runs all of America, and they run it like a business. So every city has a board of directors and all that shit that run their syndicate, right? But one of their characters is currently involved in a ninja clan, the Shinobukai Ascension,
my love.
right? Where they're basically deciding their new leader because her master died. What they're about to find out is that, and they're finding out because of what's happening in Neo Tokyo with Coco's character, where he is right now, this is all connected.
You know, I like the idea of that. Like all of the mobs just being like, screw it. You know, I like that.
Instead of
That's
fighting
cool.
each other, we can share the pie, get everything we need. Oh, we have our own city. It's called Oasis City. It's in this little new state. Like there's 10 new states, so it's 60 states, not 50. It's this little one in the desert where there's one fucking city, Oasis fucking city, and it's a syndicate town. That's what it does. It's like Syndicate Las Vegas, you know? And
That's
then
awesome.
And then the syndicate, do they have?
God,
they
supervillains,
okay.
or
So
do they
not only
just
do they have
have-
supervillains, they have their own enforcers, which are just syndicate people, and then they have a thing called Super Gang. And Super Gang is like basically a union for supervillains. You join Super Gang, you're going to be hired out on jobs. You're going to get paid a nice percentage. We've got legal representation for you, healthcare, everything you could want. But if you fuck with us, now you're in trouble because now you're our
Yes.
enemy, and we're going to fuck you.
Oh, it's awesome. And again,
So pretty much, Super Gang is like your superpowered good fella.
To a say, no, they're just supervillains who are like, instead of being out there
Unionized.
fighting for your own shit, trying to rob this bank, and then you get captured. Now you got to cough up money. You can't. You got to get a fucking public defender. You're in the Super Gang. You pay your dues every month. You go to the jobs we tell you to go to, and you get caught. Well, let us introduce you to our barrage of high-powered criminal law lawyers who are like the best in
Yes.
the world. You know, like
It's-
that kind of shit.
it's
So I repeat, it's basically
Except,
your
sort of,
good
except
fella.
they still wear their costumes and they still look like villains.
yeah.
Except the mob is watching out for you to make sure no one screws you over, unless, of course, the mob tells
Well,
them to
sometimes a
screw
super
you
gang
over.
member needs to be set straight, and then they send in the bigger. There's tiers in super gang. There's the mooks, the goons, the guys who have like, oh, I can shoot electricity bolts, la 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 la. Great. Then there's the higher tier guys. They're a little more, capable. And then there's the Hulk, Magneto level guys in the super gang, and they're there for the big jobs. When we need to take down this superhero team in Union City who's fucking with our shit. Oh, I've said too much already. Uh-oh, Coco.
I'm getting a very
Coco.
Venture Brothers
Coco says I'm just mean.
foreign investors.
We're
feel
not
for
all
this.
from Trona.
Prana. We're all from T-Dot. So was that the Shadow?
I said I'm getting a very Venture Brothers foreign investors feel.
Sure, why not?
It's there's
No,
there's
it just sounds like a super
but,
mob. to
there's
me.
just so
And
much.
that
It's
the-
so in detailed. You can go so deep with this, especially with this with the syndicates. You can have.
That's what
I
she
mean,
said.
honestly, you can go deep, you can go hard, you can go left, you can go right. It's all there for you, baby. I
Oh my
know.
God, Zach.
I can do these at times. My point is, like,
And people think Danish people don't
Well,
have
I
a
know.
sense of
they
humor.
do have, yeah. It's just a weird
Well,
sense of
so
humor. It's like the
Bruce-
Germans.
yeah.
I
But my
just-
point is, like, you could do the political intrigue. You can have things that are where the players. I've had moments where the players are being targeted financially, where it's like, oh, we're now you're having problems with your headquarters now being removed from you. Well, clearly the syndicate is now playing at a different angle against you. It's like, oh,
So
What do you
yeah,
got?
let me give you a really good example of the syndicate in action. In the Union City game, Doc Flamingo's character Ace is a refugee from Oasis City, where he pissed off the syndicate enough that he had to move to another city to fight crime because they were taking contracts out on him on the daily. Okay, he then Ace fucks around with the syndicate in Union City, gets caught tailing them. So he tailed them in a Shelby Cobra. Like, who the fuck tails someone in a Shelby Cobra? Like a loud, noticeable car. Okay. So the super strength guy damaged his car, punched
Okay.
the engine out of it, walked the fuck away. So he has to take his car to be fixed, and then to get pissy with them, he sends an arrow with a bill from the shop where he's getting his car picked. The next morning, they wake up to find out that car shop has been burned to the ground.
Is a Mustang dead?
The Shelby was inside. She's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought.
She's gone. And this is what they're just trying to realize is that Ace's fucking with the syndicate has really fucked them over. And then they started investigating, and they suddenly discovered out near the airport, the syndicate had been buying up housing and fucking commercial properties on a particular line to the airport at an extreme amount of money. And now a syndicate fucking capo has come to Union City to handle all this shit. And the first thing she did was the capo that was there already. Like, they met at the airport, and her goon fucking snapped his neck in front of everybody. And she's like, all right, let's get down to business now.
Yeah, I don't know. If I were Doc, it would be time to stop playing whoever he's playing and go straight
no,
up
it gets
Punisher
better.
mode?
After they were in Africa dealing with hang
I mean, you blew up
on.
my damn Shelby Cobra.
After
People
they
gotta
were in
die.
Africa dealing with Coco's character's subplot, he went to Monte Carlo, met this fucking chick, Contessa Isabella Rossini or something, had an affair with her. She's the fucking syndicate capo that's arrived in fucking Union City now. And he's like,
Oh,
oh,
dear.
fuck, come on. It's like, yeah, well.
Well,
Walk
we'll
around
say
and find
this.
out.
Hold on.
Isabella Rossellini
Well, it's
was
not Isabella Rossellini, but it's like that type of name. I can't remember what I called her. Is a Countess Isabella Rossini or something. I can't remember what I called her. But anyway,
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say
he's
anything.
finding out. He's finding out that he fucked around. And
Yeah.
the problem is the rest of the players have this simple statement now. While Nerd's character's off fighting the ninja fucking Kumite, they're like, her character's called Crimson Key. They're like, Crimson Key is going to get herself killed. Ace is going to get the rest of us killed. And it's like, yep. 2 of their teammates are already dead because of Ace.
So at what point do you plan on Raiden showing up
Raiden. Why would Raiden
Yes.
show up?
and telling them all that they have to go with him to fight a tournament for the survival?
Half
of
of
the
them
Earth?
are now on the Ninja Island and have witnessed the ninja coup that's happening between the 2 factions within the Shinobukai who are taking over the Shinobukai and killing every other fucking ninja that stands in their way. Nerd's character refused to join the Shinobukai despite her master having been Shinobukai, so she was told pointedly, well, then you don't get to be here and you have this many hours to get the fuck off the island, otherwise the protections of the Kumite do not extend to you. As that happens, as she's leaving, they make their move, and the 2 factions, the Black Dragons and the White Shadows, are taking out everybody else. But
I was
Coco,
thinking
hang on,
Mortal Kombat.
Coco's character and a Japanese robot that he met in Neo Tokyo have arrived on the island, which is just off of Okinawa, and that's where we left them in their last session. Now, the next move is to get all the guys from fucking back in America over there,
Nice.
and then we'll see what happens.
Nice.
I hope that works out.
You gotta just have fun with it.
I mean, I watched it. I thought it was fun. I saw the person messing around with the ninjas. I saw Doc doing Doc
Smoke bomb.
stuff.
Oh, that
No,
kills
I
me
mean,
every time. Smoke bomb, middle of the thing. It's like, what's
Yeah.
happening? Bam. I was like, yep.
Oh yeah, when the super brick just did the clap and dispersed his smoke, and he's like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm used to fighting guys with guns. Fuck.
I was like, I don't know who's who, so I'm just gonna. Everyone gets a smoke bomb. Here you go. Have fun.
Let's see now. Time to do something I know that Shadow has done before. And no, I don't mean gay porn.
Ooh.
I have to put together a couple of Warlord or Warhound
Ooh.
Titans.
Ooh.
Warhound.
Yeah, you'll be
not
there for
Warlord.
a bit.
Nah, I'm quite the don't give a f kind of guy.
Okay.
These guys are going to go together whether they like it or not.
That makes no sense. What's up, Cody?
Hey, Cody, what's up, brother?
I don't see Cody.
Cody, what is up? Good afternoon. We were just talking about superheroes, fighting ninjas, and the mob, which all sounded very fun.
Yeah, I'll have to watch
Yeah,
that particular
Super fun.
storyline after I'm done
that's
with the Guardians. Caught up to the Guardians.
That's the Friday night game. That's the Union City Blues game.
Well, Doc and Nerd's Nerd never
Nope.
disappoint. They always do something, and you're just like, okay, let's see how this turns out. You know, it's like,
And they both suffer
Um,
from the exact same disease. Their characters are principled, and in their mind, their principles are the epitome of behavior. And every so often, they run into people who just don't fucking agree with them. And it's interesting to watch those things play out. It's a kind of fun game.
yeah.
I'm so glad Bruce joined us.
That is yeah, it has been. It has.
I think he got a phone call.
He did, yeah.
I did
Coco
as
being
well.
like, just blame Ace.
Coco's Samson, whose
There you
character
go.
got renamed by society because he refused to fuck. He's an ape guy who's using his last name, his civilian character's last name. Like, could you be dumber? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get caught. So now they call him Silverback because that was the guy that had the role before him. But it's really funny because it just happened because he was in public. No one knew who he was. So they started calling him Silverback because he's an ape guy. So much fun.
Sorry about that. You know,
That's
your
okay,
boss,
Bruce.
the boss just doesn't give a shit about your streaming schedule. He just calls you out of the fucking blue.
Yeah, well, just let him know that's rude. Or not.
Like, I don't care if you have 30 fucking orcs to paint, Bruce. I want to talk to you about shit and grease. Ugh. Damn it.
Now, is that shit and grease or is
So-
that shit in grease?
It's more shit and grease because we don't
Ah.
really have combined tanks here. We do have dumps that are allowed and certified to have both grease and shit.
Oh, no. You misunderstand, young man. I meant as in shit happening in the country of Greece.
No. And I don't care about those hairy motherfuckers.
People once cared long enough to steal all of their culture and histories.
Unfortunately, that is true. You know, the fucking crime I'm having a problem with is still the Middle Eastern culture pre 600 AD. I love all the fucking stuff before that. Everything came after that is just one long, slow descent to hell. Give me
I will never forgive them for Constantinople. So that's grass.
Istanbul or Constantinople. Yes, it's Istanbul, not Constantinople.
I know.
Nobody's business but the
They
Turks.
had to do it. Yeah,
fucking hate.
that's where they're
I'm
wrong.
sorry. God damn it. I gotta shut the hell up. The Turks
Yes.
ruined my old boat, man. But fucking USS McCandless was nice. No fucking wildlife, no fucking cattle ever touched it until the Turkish took it over. And then, like, it's not suitable for human use after they return it. So they just drop it in the scrapyard in South Texas.
I've heard that one.
Just tell us how
before.
you really feel.
No, do not. Do not tell us how you
I was,
really feel.
I was getting ready to uncork that bottle of champagne from 1975. Damn it, Bear, stopped a good time.
There you go. Uncork
All
that
my
bottle.
fault somehow, but okay.
Well, I mean, you kind of did earlier. So
What did I do earlier?
when you're talking about a certain movie,
I have no idea.
Yeah,
what
seriously,
it's
Shadow.
I've lost the plot.
the Black
yeah,
Panther
context. Oh no, but dude, I'm just saying it's not. I'm just saying it's a mediocre fucking movie that got carried by a social movement. That's all I'm saying.
What movie?
I'm not saying it's Black Panther. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's just not a great movie. But because of what it was and what it
It's
represented,
about-
it was blown up into some. It was a gassed up mid. Black Panther is a gassed up mid movie.
Absolutely. Just like fucking what is
Yeah,
it?
pretty
The Sorcerer Supreme they tried making. The movie about the cape
Yeah.
and the guy with no personality.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Marvel films have pissed me off since 2013. I'm still touched in the fucking head about that.
I mean, I enjoyed the end game, and then that's sort of where I fell off.
Yeah, I don't even think I made it that far when right before I forget which movie it was when my son was a huge Iron Man fan. We found out Tony was going to die. We just like, we're done. Don't want to see it.
See, what you all should be doing is going on YouTube and watching Vikings, which is a Russian movie that came out in like 2016. It's dubbed, so you don't have to worry about speaking
Oh, that's
Russian.
good.
Yeah. And then you could have conversations about, so the Russians fighting with the Pechniks, and Oleg getting killed in a trench full of spikes. That wasn't cool. And Vladimir, like, raping his own wife in front of her parents and then killing them. Yeah, some good shit going on there, I'm telling you. It's a Russian historical movie about Vladimir the Great. Believe me, he wasn't really great there.
I mean, you're talking about my favorite lawn care guy, right?
He was kind of, well, after Oleg got killed, he showed up. He'd been out at sea Viking. So that's kind of the dude he was. And then he decided, he wanted to marry some woman at some minor Russian village. And the woman made fun of him because his mom had been a servant and called him the son of a slave. So obviously they had to burn the whole city down. And he forced her to be his wife. Murdered her parents. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. These are kind of your people there, Saxon. Kind of. Well, except they were actually Swedes, but whatever. Of the House of Rourke. It's a good movie if you've never seen it, and it's free. And then there's another movie about the couple hundred Russian Kievan Rus that fought to hold off the Mongols before they could burn Kiev. And in the end, the Mongol warlord had them all buried as heroes because he was so impressed with their heroism. True story. Both of these movies are true stories. Also.
Right.
So if you like history, you'll like these movies. Even though New York was once New Amsterdam, hey, I'm okay with that. It's that other thing that I'm not okay with. It's okay, though, because the prophets tell us that one day the Turks will be driven into obscurity and Constantinople will be ours again. So there you go. You guys got
I
all
don't have
quiet.
anything to say to that.
I'm
There's
Right,
really
well,
nothing to be said
It's,
about it.
Constantinople has fell. It's been replaced with Istanbul. I mean, that's history, and I don't think it's going to be changing.
You're kind of right, Saxius. Istanbul always existed. It was a part of Constantinople.
Right.
What are you painting, Bruce?
Like you know how like cities have not provinces, but like precincts.
Okay.
Yeah, Istanbul was basically like the Arabic part of Constantinople, and they called it Constantinople up until the end of World War II.
I need one of those.
And then Ataturk decided to change
10
the
feet
name
tall.
because he wanted to breed a Turkish nationalism. So, or World War I, actually. And American soldiers landed in Constantinople, swapped some shots with some Turks, and then got back on their boats and left. I mean, at one time they owned Crimea, but then Catherine the Great took it from them.
So I got to ask about Catherine the Great.
What about her? She was German.
Is it true about her and the horse?
No.
Okay.
No. Of course not. That was all of her enemies trying to frickin', demean her name and make her out to be whatever. Catherine the Great was a German noble who got brought in to marry frickin', I don't even remember the name of the asshole, who was such a weak leader, she pretty much deposed his ass. And then she was a strong leader. She pretty much followed on where Peter the Great had left off. which was, conquering all of the Turkish lands that, are now part of Russia, and building the Winter Palace.
I'm as British as
I
Queen
think she fought some
Victoria.
wars.
So your father's German, you're half German, and you married a German.
And Queen Victoria married her first cousin. Prince Albert was Queen Victoria's first cousin. And she had like 12 kids who all grew up to rule over all the countries that started
I know,
World
wasn't
War
it
I.
I think it was like one of the British noble royal family members who made a joke that if their grandmother was still alive, they would have hauled ass of all the Kaiser, the Tsar, and the King of England into one room and told them off for starting World War One.
Right. As a matter of fact, Tsar Nicholas and King George look so much alike, they used to switch uniforms around just to F with their servants. But of course, Kaiser Wilhelm couldn't do that. He looked too different and he had a bad hand. So, but yeah, if you ever look at a portrait of Tsar Nicholas and King George, they look like they could be twins. They were all the grandchildren of Victoria. So, what a stupid war. Everybody's always interested about World War II, and it's like, World War One, man. That was a stupid war.
I mean, it did start on a stupid note. Two cousins couldn't get along.
Well, a Serb assassinates a Franco-Austrian or some shit like that.
It's very convoluted because you have a multitude of overlapping treaties and agreements that are all falling on top of one another, and you've got different superpowers within Europe vying for powers within a specific region, funding various small radicalized groups. One of them, again, the assassination was, if you go through what actually happened, it is an absolute laughingstock and a miracle for that group that they actually got it through. Because, they tried at one point, got told, "Oh no, you're found out," and everyone took suicide pills, but it was misinformation. So an entire group killed themselves because they were told the wrong information. Then the one that we know about, they weren't even given the guns. They showed up late. They were there like the things that they could find.
Didn't they chase Ferdinand all over?
Yeah, no, they
city
didn't know
for,
where he
the whole
was.
day?
There was one of them that got chased around by the cops, jumped into the river and drowned. Another one had to jump out somewhere else, broke a leg and got caught. They got scattered all over the place. The guy who actually did it was sitting and having coffee, just going, "I just need a break. I just need a break." Sat and had a coffee. The thing rolled down. He went, "Oh, wait, yeah, that's the guy I meant to kill, I think." They didn't know who it was. They just knew he was important. So they just stood up and shot him, and he just happened to get stupidly lucky.
This takes me back to that earlier point I made about my problem with Orthodoxy is Eastern Europe. I'm just going to tie all that in right there because Serbia.
Yeah, no, it's
the guy who actually did it was actually part of a Muslim.
No. He was a Serbian. I don't give a fuck what his religious beliefs were. He was Serbian. That's all I need to know.
Oh, but you said
Orthodoxy. I said
didn't
my
say
problem
Slav.
with Orthodoxy is Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe is a blanket term that covers Serbia as well, sir.
They would disagree.
Yes, and they're more than welcome to, but we're more advanced. We get to make rules.
He was actually part of some terrorist organization called the Black Hand.
Yes, and they again, I will repeat what I said before. They were hilarious because they were so goddamn incompetent.
Yes, they were. Not to be confused with Costa Nostra, which are not incompetent.
No.
Which is why they lasted as long as they did.
Well,
because they understood one big thing about being a mobster. If you want to be a successful mobster, it's really easy. Don't draw the attention of the police.
Crazy how that works, eh?
I know, right?
Right. That's all you got to do. You can do whatever you want as long as the cops don't get caught in and you're not randomly killing innocent people that have nothing to do with anything.
But James,
Which, leads to, step one. Like, because I'll tell you right now, you guys know, I know you know, that if, like, they found a known mobster dead in a frickin' dumpster somewhere, do you think any cop in New York or Chicago gave a shit? It was like, oh, this scumbag. It looks like somebody stabbed him in the neck with a friggin' ice pick or something.
but they don't
No one
care, but
cares.
they do investigate it, hoping that it'll lead them down a trail where they can catch a few more of these fuckers. That's the point.
Yep. But it's always Goodfellas they
course it is.
find. And that's plausible deniability because the made men that, it's kind of like even in the movie Goodfellas, Paulie was a made man. And the thing about Paulie is he never said anything in front of more than one person. So no one ever could back up anything he ever said because he would only talk to people one-on-one. That was just how he ran his shop. And the whole reason you become a good fella and pay money to the made men is they're basically like the police and the insurance for good fellas. If you're a good fella and you're working in a city and you're paying your due up the ladder, then other good fellas can't just kill you. That's breaking the rules. But if you're not part of the gang, then hey, whatever happens to you happens. Now, I don't know anybody who was in the mob, but I do know somebody that was kind of sort of affiliated.
I do know people who were in the mob.
Yeah. Like this guy could get you into all the underground, like, department stores where things that fell off of trucks would end up on racks in basements in Queens or, wherever. And then if you knew the right people, you could go in and buy stuff at like, a quarter of what it would cost to retail. And it could be anything, just depended. Depended.
And that's why the good
Whatever.
were successful is because they would tip the drivers. The truck drivers that they would rob, they would give them money. And so then what happened was they started getting calls from drivers going, hey, I'm delivering this tomorrow on this highway, just saying,
Well, you see it in the movie too when they rob the dude, and then after they put like a packet with like $1,000 in his pocket, and they leave. And as soon as they leave after hijacking him, he waits, and then he gets on the phone and calls the cops. He's like, "You're never going to believe this. I just got hijacked by these black dudes." It's like, what?
You ever read the book?
But
read the book?
I've never read the book, but that's just the kind of shit that went down, man.
The book is far more interesting than the movie.
Goodfellas?
Yeah. The book is amazing.
Well, I know it's a true story because the main character ended up somewhere in Florida. Is the theory. When they put him under protective custody, he ended up somewhere down here, somewhere, where no one's ever going to know him or anything about him or, And at the end of the movie, he's bitching about how our spaghetti sauce is like ketchup.
Yeah.
But I guess it beats getting murdered or going to prison, which both would have happened to him. He would have went to prison and then get murdered. So Yeah.
I wanted
Anyway.
I wanted to not like that movie because of how it ended, but then when I found out that it was based on a true story, I kind of reversed my entire thought process on it. Like, wow, this is pretty fucking good.
Well, I mean, the idiots decided to get into moving coke, even though they were specifically told
Coke.
by their handler not to
Don't
mess
fuck
with
with
the
coke.
drugs.
Terrible
But they
drug.
did it anyway. And
It was a terrible drug back then. I think if we would have had fentanyl back in the 70s, Coke would be dead now.
yeah, people would be like, Coke, who cares? But And then when they busted his babysitter, she freaking stayed on him. And then after that, it was just they all went down.
Yeah, well, that's again the power of when the prosecutors and the police get a RICO case lined up, because that's the thing. That's the thing that that can really break down an organization like that, because just the affiliation allows them to start investigating you.
Well, and a problem, I will say, is a problem. Some people will disagree. Is the American RICO Act is effed up, because pretty much if you go with RICO, you can go after anyone for anything. And they invented it specifically to go after like Al Capone and what was his name, Cohen or whatever, that was running LA. So they invented this whole act, the RICO Act, about, it's supposed to be about, what does it stand for?
Racketeering, something.
Influence, corruption.
Right, racketeering was the big one, because that's the one they decided they could get mobsters on the best because of running protection and numbers, right?
Yeah, but it was.
And now you could like
the build up towards RICO. There's a reason why it was needed, because the police would be busting the people on the street level who would get replaced over and over and over. They could never target the capos because they were so far removed from the actual action. They would never have enough evidence. Right. So the RICO system was needed in order for them to go, right, these guys work for that guy worked for this one. We can build and we can provide evidence for an organized criminal empire to take them down. Even though they aren't directly linked, we have the affiliation, which means we can now investigate them, which will open up the can of worms where we can get the evidence to then present the actual case. We need something to bust down the door. If you don't have that, you're back at square one, where you can only really deal with the street level people. The ones who are then running the actual show are far removed. Now, we have evolved. We've seen the evolution of the criminal world since then. And it is back to that where, they have removed themselves so far that, they are not directly tied in. They've got multiple proxies, but you still need, well, in my opinion, the RICO is still needed for what it's needed, for what it's set out to accomplish.
I see your point. The reason I'm not a huge fan of the RICO Act is, as I said, it can be very easily abused.
Right.
And we've seen it very easily abused. And we're getting ready to see it maybe be very easily abused. Because now that Antifa has been declared a domestic terrorist organization, anyone who's ever donated $1 to any Antifa thing can be nailed up by the RICO Act. Now, me personally, I don't give a shit. But for some people, that's going to suck.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Like during the LA riots, when the one guy showed up and started handing out face masks, guess what?
Yeah. So I just need to clarify, James. You are. I can see where you're coming from the prospect of liberties, individual rights, and the right for you to be able to say and do all of these things. I am afraid I don't share these values, just because these are not core elements, at least within the UK, because that's sort of eroded away. So I don't think that's really a thing anymore.
Are you in the UK?
I live in the UK.
I'm sorry.
I know that there are things where I look at it here and go like, well, shit, but I don't have social media anymore. I don't post anymore on that. I will have conversations like this, but even then, like anything, like if I want to say something that's really spicy, it's within closed doors or within closed chat rooms.
What's with all you Scandinavians moving to England? I mean, didn't PewDiePie move to England?
No, he moved to Japan.
Yeah, but he moved to England first, I think.
No, he did. Yeah, he moved to England for a period. I mean, so England had a period where it was very financially prosperous for you to go there, and it's sort of gone the other way now. Whatever. Right. My point is, even in Denmark, the freedom of expression does have its own limitations. Like it's still a debate within Denmark of like how far can you take certain things. It's not as cut and clear as it is in the United States, where you've got your First Amendment that will give you that right. So again, when we discuss this, I don't have these immediate policies or views. I look at it primarily from the point of view of why are these legal precedents needed, and what's the outcome that we're needing out of it? Can it be abused? Yeah. Anything from within the legal system can be abused because it's meant to be impartial, so both sides can use it.
No, I get it. I mean, as a fine, upstanding European citizen living in the UK, you don't have quite the same view of the American experience as me. I mean, even my bro up there up north has kind of a different outlook about certain things. I mean, but Americans are weird though, you know? Like we fought a whole war so that we could, you know, do stupid shit. And we get really upset when things are going on that makes us feel like somebody's going to try and make it where we can't do the stupid shit we want to.
I mean, yes, no. I mean, again, this is part of history. Like, yes, you've had your War of Independence. You've also had France, who had their war for their own civil liberties to be brought forward.
Yeah, but they were commies, and it didn't work out good.
I would not call the French Civil War communist.
Absolutely, they were collectivists.
Collectivist, yes. Communist, no.
Communism is collectivism.
Sachs, you're not going to win this one. Let it go. Americans have a weird thing about communism.
The point where I'm going to be going towards is that
As a matter of fact, the whole right paradigm was invented by the French Revolution.
Having a civil war does not mean that you are immediately going to be having an outcome of more liberties or a stronger belief in liberties.
Absolutely not. The French were a bunch of idiots. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, the only revolution that ended pretty good was America. Because we drove the English out, and then we didn't immediately start murdering everyone we thought was still loyal to England. And then the guy
ran off to Canada,
king of America, said, "No, I'm not going to be king."
Well, he only served one term.
George Washington, they offered to make him the first king of the United States.
Yeah,
he said no.
He went down the democratic route, served one term. Yeah, true.
And then died of pneumonia jumping out of his neighbor's wife's window in the middle of the night during the snow.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. I mean, but think about it. George Washington. He's like 6.5 foot tall, superhero of the age. You know, he's done a bunch of badass shit, and you know, I guess he kind of liked the booty a little too much. You know what I'm saying? So he ran naked from his neighbor's house to his own through the snow. And the thing about Virginia is the winters are wet and cold, so that means you get pneumonia, which is what killed Stonewall Jackson, is because he got shot in Virginia and they laid him on his back too long and he got pneumonia and died. So, yeah, that's Virginia.
You know, I'm not a big fan of winter. No surprise, I moved to Texas.
Yeah, you guys don't have winter there.
We do, because you do have to drip feed your faucets. We don't winterize anything over here with the shit. I've been going through Reddit's cancer Texas subreddit to look at the energy changes we've had in the infrastructure, see if we're going to have another possible snowvid. We get like a slight chilly fart from Mistress Winter, who fucks us with a dildo. We are going to completely break down again because we haven't done nearly enough to make things winterize, and they put up more of those garbage ass wind turbines, and we don't have any new refineries. We don't have any new fucking natural gas plants, but we got natural gas all over the eastern part of the state, and I don't understand why we're not utilizing it. It's like If Bear had a gold brick under his apartment building, but he had to have just 4 feet of a digging with a shovel, manual labor, just go 4 feet down, and there's a 26-ounce bar of gold, 24 karat, all for you. And he's like, no, it's just too much. That's what we're doing in Texas with natural gas, because it's so easy to get a hold of.
Well, call your representative.
I'm in depth. I'm in very much with contacting and screaming at people in emails and social media.
Absolutely, screaming at people always manages to get your point across.
I know, right? I know, because
Yeah, I don't have to worry about because I live in the free state of Florida.
No, I
That's
thought,
okay. Shadow lives in the People's Republic of California.
He does. The People's Soviet Republic of California.
And it sucks.
But literally, when you cross the border from Georgia into Florida, there is a sign that says, "Welcome to the free state of Florida."
and Georgia's not free. It's
Georgia's super free unless you decide to go 5 miles over the speed limit on any road anywhere in Georgia.
Well, I mean, that's everywhere. Every fucking state has these miserable pieces of shit that go after speeders and not after drug cartels and fucking local fucking gangs which fucking peddle fucking fentanyl.
I think Georgia, literally most of their state economy is just speeding tickets.
It is.
That they write for people, They're like, we've had a little bit of a budget downfall. What are we going to do? Oh, I know. We're going to write a lot of tickets for everyone on 95. And that's just kind of the way Georgia is. But, God love them. They're fine little people.
I love that state, but I just don't understand why people put up with that.
Meanwhile, poor Sachs over here.
He doesn't have.
Here's the other thing, Sachs, that until you come to America and live here for a while, you'll never understand. The nation you live in is smaller than the state I live in.
No, I know. I do understand geographically that the UK is.
And we have at least 6 or 7 independent cultures.
Yeah, I know.
And also different languages too.
Yes, again, I do know, and I understand that
America.
America
You would.
Yeah.
When we used to talk all the time on Twitter, you always came across it like a smart guy.
I'd like to think that I can read.
What city do you live in, sir? Can I ask?
Go on.
Sexiest, what city do you live in?
I mean, I live close to a city called Bristol.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was curious.
What part of England is that? Midlands, Southlands? What is that?
That's southwest.
Southwest.
Yeah, so it's where the Stonehenge. It's near Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're near the Welsh.
Yes, I am.
Run.
Poor guy.
They're going to assault you with consonants. Run.
The question is like, do I want cheap housing and terrible road conditions, or do I want money?
Why settle for either? Come to Canada, have no expensive housing and shit roads. You get
exactly.
You can
go to kill yourself.
Oh, you don't kill yourself. They do that for you in Canada.
And you can be, and if you live in my province, you can be told they won't serve you at a hospital or a doctor's office in your language unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Because vive la Québec libre.
Yeah. That is one thing about the Canadians. They are very giving and kind people. They don't expect you to do yourself. They're willing to help.
Well, because if you did it yourself, it's illegal.
Right. That would, you gotta have somebody with a license.
Nothing quite like, surviving a suicide attempt to then be, incarcerated. Certainly that's going to help you feel better about life and make some better life choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get out, they're like, hey, have you considered government assisted?
Again, a man in England needs stitches. They can do it for him in 36 weeks. A man in the States needs stitches. It'll cost him $40,000. A man in Canada needs stitches. Have you thought about suicide?
Yeah. Canada just hates the middleman.
Canada is a middleman. Canada is 100%. The
Glad
Canadian government
somebody got
is like
that.
obsessed with being a middleman.
Well, you're the middleman if you're trying to commit suicide.
You know, there was a meme I saw the other day where it said, "Would you like to visit Toronto?" And one of the first memes was an angry Tuscan Raider, and the guy's like, "Nah, I can't stand these guys."
Toronto's full of Tuscan Raiders.
Toronto's full of sand people.
Oh God, I get it now. I get it.
Okay, that's over
See-
the line.
Hey,
No,
Bear.
it's not.
That's over the line. No, that's over the line.
Bear. Remember, he's from Texas.
Doesn't matter. That's over the line.
Like in basketball, remember what we say all the time? Fuck the Mexicans. The Texas basketball team, as like they're saying, fuck the Mexicans.
Fuck the Mexicans. I remember that.
The San Francisco Ferries. That wasn't a gay joke. That was an Australian joke. I don't know about anything about all that. I mean, I know my old buddy that used to live in Calgary before he died, he absolutely had an issue with Chinese people, but I don't even know why, because Calgary isn't even near the West Coast. But he wasn't a fan.
I heard that Calgary and Edmonton especially got a lot.
Okay, Bear, you're having thoughts. Is Calgary near the West Coast?
It's Western Canada. You drop over the Rockies and you're in the Pacific Ocean.
It's just north of Montana.
It's
No,
like
in
it's
the center, like.
no. It's like it's less than a
right
day's
north of
drive.
Montana.
Okay, I'll just shut up about my country. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead, Bear.
No, I'm good. I'm good. You guys
I
tell
like
us what
their
we're-
team though. Like in PlayStation, or was it whichever computer we had? I like to play the Calgary Flames because they wear all red, and I'm a fan of red. They weren't a great team though. I lost a lot. My buddy always played like Detroit, and didn't work out for me too good. But anyway, let's all be cool. What is that from? Oh, Pulp Fiction. I want you to tell that bitch to calm down. We're going to be a bunch of cool guys in here like Fonzie. Right? And how's Fonzie? Cool. Julius, now reach in that bag and find the wallet that says bad motherfucker on it. That is such a great scene. If you've never seen it, Saxius, Pulp Fiction, it's a little rough, but it's definitely a great movie.
It used to be my favorite movie. I every Sunday I would watch it with my old mom, my mom, and whoever happened to be home.
Your
For-
Oma?
My mom. I was going to say old man, but my old man had passed away. My
Oh,
mom.
no, I
and I-
thought you were going to say Oma, and I was going to say that's so interesting. In Hebrew, mom is Ima.
and whoever showed up, we watched it every Sunday for about 2 years.
But anyway, I don't want anybody being offended with anybody because off-color
No.
jokes.
No, I said my point. It was over the line. And that's
You didn't
I said
like
my
it.
piece.
I get it.
I'm not upset. I'm not
I don't
dwelling.
think there was any maliciousness, and I'm sure that Bruce is not the kind of guy that you wouldn't like.
We're all
Like,
good
I'm
guys.
sure he
There's-
doesn't live in
Yeah.
Toronto and blame
Yeah,
the
okay.
God for everything.
Hilarious. We don't need an intervention. Everything is fine. I felt
Well,
that line. I felt that joke was over the line. I spoke my piece, and that part of my piece is PEACE. My piece. I'm
Okay,
good.
well, I didn't get it first, but then I got it, and I can't help it. I laughed, but
Yeah.
I like dark humor too. So it's like food, dark humor. Not everyone gets it.
It's like The Cure.
Dark humor.
The two versions of that is how is dark humor like food? Not everyone gets it. How's dark humor like Make-A-Wish Foundation kids? Never mind. I'm gonna shut up. 'Cause that's a horrible
Damn
joke.
Damn it.
Well,
And yet everybody but Saxius is laughing.
Somebody actually posted a picture of the cure, and it said, "I don't know what the disease is, but this is the cure."
Ah, funny.
And I was like, that's kind of funny because I love The Cure.
So I'm going to finish the joke because it is worth finishing because it's good, which is how is dark humor like Make-A-Wish Foundation children? It never gets old.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's literally the darkest joke I know. That one is like beyond, like, fuck your emo, fuck your goth. That's dark. You know what I mean? That's umbrella.
That's like in basketball where they go to the Give the Wish Foundation kid and he's like, I get a wish. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, I want to murder an endangered species. They're like, wait, what? And then they're like, look, man, it's okay. We all got to die sometime. And he's all like, but not this week. And they're just like,
What's
It was a
a
very underrated movie.
very underrated movie. And it also mentions the best thing, which is, I thought we agreed no more Steve Perry jokes.
No more what?
Steve Perry jokes. Because every time the one guy would go to take the shot, their guy would start singing frickin' Sherry by Steve Perry. You know, he'd line up on the free throw line and he'd get ready to do the shot, and their guy'd be like, and I should have been gone. And of course, he'd miss the shot, and he'd be like, dude, I thought we said no more Steve Perry jokes. Yeah. That is the sweet bed. However, that's whatever the dog's name's bed. You'll be sleeping in this box, you little bitch. Kenny. Oh, man. That really was one of the top like sports movies ever.
It was well done.
And
I heard that Dodgeball
what's
get
his name in it? Borgnine.
At Earthsborg 9, I used to say this to my students all the time. I'd say, you kids today with your hula hoops, your Zima, and your Dan Fogelberg records.
Your Dan Fogel. You've got your attention span can only be measured in nanoseconds. It's like, and then they look over and the one guy's just staring at a bird. It's like, oh my god.
It's a good movie.
I gotta ask, are you guys excited about a possible sequel to Dodgeball?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how it could
I
be.
don't even
better
think I
than
saw the first one.
Sacrilege.
Get out of here.
You listen, that means you don't know the 5 Ds of dodgeball. Dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge.
Remember, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge.
You can dodge traffic, you can dodge a ball. Is this necessary? No. Is drinking my own urine necessary? No. But I like the taste.
Rip Torn. It is hard to
Oh,
believe he was the bad guy in Beastmaster.
Yes, he
Yes,
was.
They just put a big nose on him. And he become.
He was also the boss in Men in Black.
Yeah, but my favorite Rip Torn story comes from real life. When he got drunk, wandered into a bank, and he screamed at everybody to get the hell out of his house.
He has, without a doubt, one of my favorite bits from the Gary Shandling show when he's getting Gary a drink and he gives him a rusty nail, and Gary's like, "Yeah, well, what is it? He goes, drink it, you pussy!" It's just like, fuck. Holy shit!
Yeah. And then the luck of the Irish sign falls on him. Vince Vaughn's like, our coach has just been killed by 2 tons of irony.
2 tons of irony. Yeah, I don't want to see a sequel to that movie. I don't want to see sequels to anything. Like, I don't. I want to
They're
see new
lazy.
ideas. I want to see new ideas.
As much as I would like to say I agree with you on that, I watch twice a year The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, and I would never want sequels to either one of those.
Once a year, I watch The Last Starfighter. I love watching great things.
Yes.
But
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to Buckaroo Banzai.
No!
Oh shit, Shadow!
I already knew before even Shadow got that out of his mouth that was going to be an issue.
The fuck is wrong with you?
I've only seen the movie twice.
Sequel.
I've only seen that movie twice, And
Do you understand? It's my number one movie of all time. I love that fucking movie.
you don't want to
No.
see it. Well,
It is
Look,
a
if they
moment
could go back
in
in time and
time.
do it. What if
No.
they could-
No, listen to me, you fucking children. It's a moment in time that is perfectly encapsulated in what it is. It can never be duplicated. It can never be replicated. It can only be imitated poorly. So leave it as an artifact of time. And
It
let
is
be.
the essence of the 80s distilled down into
It is. I regret that I've only seen that movie twice, and the second time was just about 6 months ago.
I watch that movie 3 times a year.
Well,
I will not quote it, but I can quote that fucking movie.
It's a great movie.
It's an amazing movie.
It's got Jeff Goldblum dressed up as a cowboy for reasons I still don't understand.
I know that was so fucking odd.
I'm from New Jersey. Right, where are your Spurs at? Was he making fun of me? It's
Right.
a great movie. It's a great movie.
Oh, and the rock band, and they had like the Japanese guy and all these different guys.
The Hong Kong Cavaliers.
The Hong Kong Cavaliers, man.
And they got the Rasta drummer, which is hilarious when the gunshot happens and the guy whips out a fucking Uzi and he's like, shh, what the fuck? It's a great scene. That scene has the most amazing moment in the history of film, which is there someone crying out there? And it's Ellen Barker. And she's like me. He goes, can we get her a spotlight and a mic? Like the woman's crying. Let's get a spotlight on her,
Just
please.
illustrate everything bad going on in her life and make sure everybody sees it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Such a good movie. Oh my god, I love that.
And then they had to deal with the Rasta aliens to help them put an end to the other aliens.
A race war in New Jersey? Fuck, I love that movie. Shit. There's that moment where they're walking through the labs trying to hunt the electroids and they see the watermelon in the press. And Jeff Goldblum's like, why is there a watermelon in that press? The guy's like, I'll tell you later. Reno, he's like, I'll tell you later. The reason they did that was because they were pretty sure the producers were no longer checking the dailies. So they started putting shit in to see if they'd get notes back from the producers about it. And when that one went by and that day they got no one said shit about the watermelon. They were like, well, we can do whatever the fuck we want now, boys. And they just started doing whatever the fuck they wanted after that. And that's why it's such a great movie.
That is, yeah.
But it suffers from a problem, which is the fan base are like fucking Star Wars nerds in that they want to explain everything that happens. So the expanded canon goes into autistic detail about shit. And it's like, no, just leave it the fuck alone. It's a time capsule. It's its own thing. Seal it in fucking amber. Like, just leave it the fuck alone.
That reminds me of what I used to say about Rick and Morty. I kind of like the show, but I hate the fans.
Yep.
You know, it's like,
Well, you know what my answer to that was, and you didn't like it when I said it to you last time. It's not Jesus I have a problem with. It's his fans. I think he's a swell dude.
I think Gandhi said that before you did.
Did Gandhi say that? Really?
I think
nice.
Gandhi said the worst part about Christianity is all the Christians.
Okay, that's not the same. Okay, I get what you're saying, but it's, man, don't make it sound like I ripped off Gandhi. You're such a dick.
You completely ripped off Gandhi.
Fucking Italians in Texas. The fuck?
he's actually German.
Lombardo?
Yeah, there was this tribe of Germans called the
Yeah, the Lombards. Yeah, they moved south into fucking Italy and
Mhm.
became Italians.
No, I think they just stayed being Germans, just in Italy.
No one goes to Italy without becoming Italian. You can't help it. They hand you a Vespa and teach you how to say ciao as soon as you show up.
It's a Marciano out of a Vespa.
Dude, I went out of my point to name the villain they're fighting in Union City Vespa, as in wasp, but because Italian, Vespa. You know, come on, ciao.
Yeah, I was wondering why your villain was named after a scooter.
She's not. She's named after a stinging insect.
That makes a lot more sense.
Would you like to see what she looks like?
If you want to show me.
I don't mind.
Now
Hang on.
debuting on James's channel, a sneak peek.
Oh, no. The patrons have seen this forever. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Patreon. Oh, I can't share. I'm on Google. Sorry, I can't share shit on screen because I don't have it set up in my settings. I'm using Chrome for this.
It's okay. I'll look it up later.
Yeah, just type in Vespa.
Yeah. See, it's too bad she's Italian, because if she was German, you could have called her Wespy.
That doesn't sound good.
It means wasp.
Yes, but it doesn't sound good. There are certain words in certain languages that mean things that sound terrible, but then there's words in certain languages that when you say them, you go, ooh, right?
Like Vespa.
Like Vespa, because it's just
Yeah.
like, ooh.
Vespa reminds you of maybe having some espresso at the outside cafe, and when you're done, you get on your Vespa and throw your sash over your shoulder and you say, ciao.
Or this bitch shows up. This bitch shows up to kill your fucking party.
Oh man, I don't
Nice.
want her to kill my party. I want her to be my girlfriend.
Well, Ace tried that, and now she's going to kill his team.
Damn it, Ace. Damn you, Ace.
Contessa Isabella Russo. That's her name.
Yeah.
Contessa Bell. Which Contessa?
Isabel-
Count, right?
Contessa
Countess?
Isabella Russo. Yes, she's a Contessa.
So count.
I can't make the R's roll.
You can't do the rolling R's?
Me
No,
neither.
I can.
Sax, me neither.
Ooh.
Her. That's how it comes
What's
out.
really, really fun is if you speak French, R-U-E, which means street, right? Anyone who doesn't speak French goes, rue. And it's like, yeah. Or you go, rue, which is what is it? Rue. It's in the back of the throat. Rue. And it's really hard for people who weren't raised with that around them and hearing it all the time as kids. They don't get it. So it's
Yep.
like the rolling R. If you don't grow up with it, it's going to be real fucking hard for you. You know? Like
Yep.
real fucking hard. Unless
Well,
you're
we're all not-
Scottish, and then it's fucking easy, you cunt.
We're all not French. Therefore, we all don't have experience with having all kinds of things in the back of our throats.
Oh, I like that one. That was good. That was good. Oh, and not Saxis, Shadow. I realize now what I should have said instead of no when you said they should remake or do a sequel to Buckaroo Banzai is what I should have said. What? Are you retarded? And
Oh,
left it
good
at
one.
that because that would just put the point on it. Right there.
Brian, bless it.
Little?
I watched Flash Gordon yesterday.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a good one.
he's
And
so
the whole
good in that.
time, like he's throwing the balls at, and every now and then you just see Brian Blessed's Hawkman character like bop one in the head with his mace, and then just be like, pretty funny.
I like when he just goes, Hawkman, dive! It's like,
Dive!
can you get the scenery out of your mouth, Brian, for a minute, please? Like, Jesus Christ.
I don't think he can.
But that also shows you the difference between a good actor and a bad actor, right? Jack Palance did the same thing. He would chew the fuck out of the scenery, but you'd just be laughing at him the whole time. You wouldn't be going like, oh, yeah. You'd be like, the fuck is wrong with this guy?
What is
Brian
the
Blessed
one?
chews the scenery, and you go, ooh.
What's the one movie that Jack Palance did that you absolutely love, and what's the worst movie that you grit your teeth every time he starts to speak?
So I absolutely love, but it's only with riff tracks, Hawk the Slayer.
Hawk
Because
Slayer.
the way they fucking make fun of Jack Palance in that movie is hilarious.
Mhm.
Because it's
Agreed.
just observe and go. Worst Jack Palance movie? Curly's Gold. City Slickers. I hated
City
that
Slickers
fucking
2?
movie.
Yeah,
No, the
that's-
first one. The first one. I hated that fucking movie.
I
Clearly.
hated part 2. Part 2 is kind of sad. Part 1,
Nice.
Didn't he die? Didn't he die during or right after that one?
Yeah, that's why the second one's about Curly's gold and them trying to find his lost gold, but he's not in it. Or maybe he's in a flashback. I can't remember. It was the 90s. I smoked a lot of weed in the 90s.
a lot of pot in
Yeah,
the
there's a
2000s.
lot of shit going on in the 90s, you know. You know how it is.
I felt so bad. Someone was talking about how Connell was talking about how he's been to vampire LARPs, but they didn't have big titty goth girls. I'm like, where the fuck did you find the only vampire LARP in the world that wasn't full of fucking chicks? Like, how? How
Fucking
did you do that?
Springfield, Illinois had an amazing LARP because they had like 40 fucking big titty goth girls I've never seen since then. And like, it was like I went to a fucking Hollywood party. Like, they were hot. They were fucking hot. There's no other way to put it.
He tried to compare it to like SCA and like boffer fighting events, and I'm like, no,
Girls
it's
and
not the same.
Go-Go's.
Those are some heavy ladies at those events.
We have a name for them because I was in the SCA for many years, squire to Sir Brendan of the Kingdom of Trimaris. We called them Trimerian land whelps.
Wow.
Not to their faces. I was married though, so I wasn't running any of that shit down anyway. But I do remember, and if BRC's still in the audience, I do remember BRC getting totally drunk and then led around the whole encampment by this 400-pound woman on a leash. And then when we were all like, tried to pull him aside and be like, dude, that chick's big as a house. He's like, don't say that about her. I love her. And we're just like,
how drunk can you be?
well, they'd start drinking pretty early, and they were drinking like mead and homemade wine and God only knows what.
Everclear.
Just whatever. I mean, but I will say one good thing about the SCA. We were in Alabama.
Uh-huh.
There were about 1,000 people there because it was one of the big events, right? Called the Gulf Wars. And everyone was armed to the teeth, carrying daggers and swords and whatever, like real ones. No violence at all. Now, a lot of wife swapping and shit like that for sure, but no
what's it the red tent? Was it the red tent? Is that the thing they have?
And we also, because I was buddies with one of these guys, and don't say anything mean about it, but we had the guys that always had the blue rose stitched on them. And I spent a lot of time hanging out with one of those guys before I knew. But I didn't care because I never asked and he never said anything. And
but you understand that's why Steve Kenson's game that he released through Green Ronin was called Blue Rose.
I understand it now, but back in the 2000s, all of the guys that showed up to the SCA with their little blue roses stitched on their hats and shit, I had no idea.
Fair enough.
I was like, whatever. And this guy was big. He's like yours.
Yeah, I was in the SCA for like 2 years. I still don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It means
it's a gay. It's a gay.
This guy was real, so they can recognize each other and not like offend anybody. Blah blah blah. But I
or ultimately not get their ass kicked for hitting on the wrong macho guy, right?
Okay.
That might be true too. But I hung out with the guy for like a day and a half, and he ended up paying me a bottle of liquor so that my house would fight next to his house, even though my house was all Crusaders. so it was the Crusaders, and as he said, and I quote, the fighting fags of Callantere will whip your ass and then F your rear. So you better run and you better fear the fighting fags of Callantere. They had a song. It was hilarious.
Okay.
Sorry.
They had a song. All right.
It was hilarious. We didn't.
I'm with you.
We chatted and laughed.
They're musical folk. What do you expect?
Well, we chanted. And
Are
laughed.
you a musical folk, Shadow? I know not much about your Blue Oyster cult.
No, it's more like, are the people he keeps locked in his basement musical folk?
Shadow's wandering around the fucking SCA with a blue oyster embroidered on his thing going, where's everybody?
No.
Da, 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 da.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da.
Learning the tango.
Yes.
I will tell you this. There is a lot of leather worn at SCA events.
Shadow.
Not necessarily just on the battlefield. I mean, like, off the battlefield too.
I was the one of the SCA events I went to. I didn't go to many. I didn't like it. I remember I went outside the tent to have a cigarette, and I sat down on a rock and I glanced over, and this chick walked out of her tent and started just undressing until she was naked, and then started wrapping herself up in the cloth and all that, and then put on her gambeson and then started putting on her armor. And all I'm thinking to myself is, you could see me, like clearly you looked at me. We made eye contact before you started doing this. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it wasn't like, oh, damn tits. Or no, it was just like, what is wrong with this woman that she's doing this in front of a man she doesn't know? Like, how fucking
I think if you had tried anything, she might have effed you up a little bit.
I'm not a savage, so I didn't. I finished
Yeah,
my
I don't
cigarette and I went
think
back
you
in my
are.
tent.
I don't think you're going to run over there and try to do any, forceful struggle cuddling or anything.
Listen,
but,
I'm not German.
Well, I am, and I still don't.
No, you didn't get that one, did you? You get all the other bad racist jokes, but that one you didn't get.
You're not German? Are you Russian?
Never mind, you're not getting it. It's okay. I'm not going to
sorry.
explain to you until after when Shadow tells us the Raven story.
I'm not good at,
Germany had a real problem with certain people in their country that were there in crowds surrounding women and touching them inappropriately in public. In Cologne, specifically, I believe.
Yeah.
Had?
Yeah, well, it was bad. Like, it was really bad that one year at New Year's. It's calmed down, but it was horrible then. It was horrible. Like, hundreds of women were in one night.
Yeah, that's
that was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 2019 or something like that.
Yep.
that's uncool. But the chick getting undressed in front of you, buck naked, to put her armor on, I'm telling you, she probably didn't care.
No, she didn't, or she just wanted men to look at her. But the point is you can do that shit in your tent, is what I'm saying.
It could be both. Yeah.
Was it just grateful? Now you have a great story.
But here's the
No, because James ruined it. It
Sorry.
was a great story.
You can try it
So
again
James
later next year, you know.
got all fucking Slavic spastic about it, and now we're here. Fuck.
The thing is, though, is most of the heavy fighters you find in the SCA that are ladies, even if they're hot, they're
Usually big.
kind of batting for Nerds team.
They're friends of Susan.
Right. They got a blue rose stitched on something somewhere. And most of them, they're pretty good. I mean, I can honestly say no woman ever beat my ass, but they try their best, though.
Well,
They tried their best.
I'm just saying, you negotiate things properly.
Okay, well, my wife has definitely domesticated me over these last 20-something years. She's Danish. She's an angry little Viking. She insists that I make appointments for literally everything. If I want to kiss my wife, I need to let her know ahead of time so she can schedule it. She loves schedules. I've told you about that before. Seth.
Yeah.
She loves schedules. She loves calendars. She can write schedules on. And she hates impetuousness. Me, on the other hand,
You're like an imp.
I am super impetuous, super like, I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, fuck it, let's go somewhere. And she'll be like, what? But we didn't plan it. Like, I love her though. She keeps me straight. You know what I mean? She keeps me out of trouble.
Okay, I was going to say, because otherwise it's like, what, if it wasn't for her, you'd be sucking dick like Shadow? Come on, man.
Hey.
I don't think that's what it mouth, but like, if I did like this,
I'm sorry, I just love how you laughed as you were like, hey, come on, hey. That was good, Shadow. That was well
Dude,
done.
Okay,
It's never happened.
how about this, Bear?
Oh, shit.
How about if you're in a relationship with the guy, but you don't put it in your mouth or anywhere, and you just put your hand like this and like jerk him off sometimes? And then otherwise,
This got
then just
really
be like
technical.
roommates.
What's going on, James?
James, this is really like specific.
We're getting it.
Well, it's like I told you the other night. I don't like have a problem with the gay thing except for the
Wow.
sex.
All right, okay, let's just dial it
Like
back.
I had a
step.
gay roommate. It was okay. We just didn't
Did
do
you-
it.
Do a lot of this.
What's a gay roommate look like?
Well, if you're not looking and you give him a hand job, is that even gay?
Yes! Yes, it is!
Are you sure?
Yes! Well, hang on, Shadow? Shadow, is that gay? That's
Shadow
the
would
resident
know.
expert.
Shadow would know. He is the expert.
How the fuck would I know? Yeah, it's all gay. It's all
How the fuck have I ended up here? Jesus Christ.
Give
Sorry,
yourself
I
the
ask
blame.
myself that every day.
It's been 3.5 hours,
It's not
and
a bad
everyone around here tends to get a little whoopsie about
Whoopsie
After 2 hours.
whoopsie.
You know how it is, how they get all They all get all, was it when they're hopped up on the syrup? What's that fucking word he uses? They get all fucking Super Troopers quote.
So basically, if you want to hang out and have a conversation about anything, the first 2 hours.
No, like
After
I'm
that,
just
shit just goes crazy.
no, like it's just the way that the wordings were going. You're just like, oh, you know how it is. You just casually shield yourself while you turn it off, and it's just like,
Well, and you could be thinking about Sydney Sweeney, so you're definitely straight.
What?
No.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
gay.
James, no. Also, by the way, Saskia, the line I was thinking, he goes, these boys get that syrup in them. They get all antsy in the pantsy, right? So that's where we're at. We're
And that's
3
what
hours
happens
in.
after the
get
2
all
hour
antsy in the
mark.
fancy.
Everyone gets all antsy in the pantsy. And the next
James
thing you know, we're
gives us-
making
gives us-
incredibly insensitive racial jokes about Bear's
boy.
country. And Bear's
Oh.
making racial jokes about my ethnicity.
Germany. Your
And then
ethnicity.
we're all calling Shadow gay.
Yeah, but that happens from hour 1, really.
Right?
That's not an hour 3
Starts out
moment.
that way,
No. Hour
I
one.
bet Sax is the only one who doesn't know that story, right?
no, I do not know that story. No,
You don't want to, but you're going to anyway.
no.
Turn back
Okay,
now.
just so you know, when I first started streaming, I would
Yep.
put the link in the chat.
Yep.
And I don't do that anymore.
It was one of
We're having a
these.
discussion about high tech armor on a Saturday night. I do a sci-fi show. We're having a good conversation. People in the show and in the chat. This guy comes in, starts talking, like he knew what he was talking about, and asks for the link. Asks if he can come in the show, and I let him because I was an idiot, and we don't get to see his face. We just get to see him pleasuring himself live on stream before for like a couple of seconds before I shut that show down, and I've never been able to live it down. And now because of that, I'm a gay porn producer.
Say that you've
I
never
hear it's
been,
lucrative at least.
say you've never been on Omegle without saying you've never been on Omegle.
Yeah, your brother used to live on Omegle, by the way.
And like every other click is some dude's dick.
Dude, I used Omegle once when it was like everyone was talking about it. I'm like, all right, let's check this shit out, right? And it was no joke. Like every fucking second camera was some guy's cock. And I was just like, hey, Jesus Christ.
See, Andre's got my back. He says it don't count if it doesn't hit you in the face.
No, it absolutely does count.
It absolutely.
It's only gay if the balls touch.
Привет,
Jesus
Andre.
Christ. Привет.
Привет.
Извините, мороженое, пожалуйста. Anyway, the point being is that if you're jerking the guy off, I got bad news for you. You're at least a lacrosse player, okay?
I had to actually check to see if my door was open in case my wife was hearing what I was shouting.
Our apologies.
That's
No,
why I
it's
masturbate
she will only hear when I'm
animals.
shouting, and there's this.
Yeah, exactly. That's one-sided conversation you don't want to hear the wrong side of. Like, what the fuck? What is he talking about?
That's one of the reasons why I married a Mexican woman, because she doesn't understand a shit, a single thing I do or say ever.
And if she pisses you off, you can always deport her.
Yeah, but if he pisses her off, you better be wearing a stab vest.
No.
No. He has to just worry about the flying chancla.
Dude, when my buddy married a Guatemalan, the Mexican guys we were working with on a film were like, okay, do you have the bug out bag? And the other guy's like, okay, did you lock all the knife drawers? You have to lock all the knife drawers. So they're like giving him the list of things. Do you have a friend? You can go to at 3 a.m. It's just like they're giving him all the rules of a Latina. It's just hilarious.
I didn't marry that kind of Latina.
I did. It
I
lasted
dated
for
that
1
kind.
year.
I love Latinas. They're crazy as shit. One of my favorite memes is this young Mexican man sitting next to Jesus, and Jesus is like, I can grant you anything. I can take care of all your needs. And he's like, well, Jesus, make my Latina girlfriend not so crazy. And Jesus is like, son, I cannot achieve that.
I was going to say, and then suddenly she was a Filipina.
Oh, no.
I told you my nephew that moved to New Zealand, he married an Australian woman. got divorced, married a Filipino woman. They're working on their second kid. He's happier now.
Yep.
Apparently, the rule is if you're from New Zealand, do not associate with Australians because they suck. In the
That's
opinion
really-
of the New Zealanders, they pretty much consider Australians to be like animals.
Well, they
Australia
kinda
and New
see
Zealand
Australians
has
the
the-
way. Go ahead, Sax. No,
I was just gonna say it's like Scandinavia. The two of them just view each other with absolute contempt.
it's also kind of like how Austrians see Germans, how Canadians see Americans, you know, just saying. How the French see Belgians, or the Belgians see the French, you know. Just saying. When you're the smaller of the two, you tend to go, fuck those big ones. Meh. You know, that's just the way it is. Meh, fuck them. Meh.
Oh, I gotta go.
Okay, well, end your stream so Shadow can tell me a story.
Okay.